Hello. Hello, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to Ford Field on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network as the Mount Pleasant Oilers get set to take on the DeWitt Panthers. We're talking Division III state championship football. As far as this broadcaster goes on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, it's never going to get bigger than this. Mount Pleasant Oilers are the biggest school we cover. Maybe on something we could follow a Midland here or there, but it's D3, the biggest school we cover. It's the football state championship, the biggest high school sport there is. And welcome to Ford Field, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, it's 13-0 Mount Pleasant versus 13-0 DeWitt. And if you're ready for a little trip down memory lane, here we go. By all accounts, the Oiler football program began back in 18 of 99. That's a long time ago, and according to records supplied by my main man, Bubba McLean, and OilerFootball.weebly.com, under legend coach Carlo Barberi. Shout out to Barberi Law Studios, where we're coming to you from at Ford Field today. Built by Konwinski Construction. I should also mention this is the Woods Household pregame show. But back under legendary coach Carlo Barberi in 1958, the Oilers were dubbed by the Detroit News the mythical state champions. The Oilers school's first actual playoff appearance in the MHSAA playoffs was 1976 under Coach Hilt Foster. The Oilers, their main man Mark Mumford was on the squad. They fell to East Grand Rapids in the state semifinals, but it was only state semifinals and state finals back then. Only 4 teams got in, so they got in, fell to East Grand Rapids. In 1990 of 2, the Mount Pleasant Oilers won their first ever playoff game, led by Mr. Al McNeil, and I imagine McIntyre was probably on that team because in 2006, the legendary Jason McIntyre took over from his legendary pops, Ted McIntyre. In just his second season at the helm, the Oilers won their first ever district title, and district titles weren't available in football until the 2000s because you started off in regionals, and as I mentioned back in 76, there was just 4 teams that got in. You were already in the state finals. 2010, Coach Mack led the Oilers to their first ever regional title. The very next year in 2011, the Oilers made their first ever state finals appearance here at Ford Field. The Oilers also hosted a district title in 2018. And under Jason McIntyre, this is what, 2005, 2006, the Oilers have only had one losing season. Their record under Jason McIntyre is 168-52. Woo! A little bit more history. The last time these two teams played, it was one of the greatest MHSAA playoff football games in history. It was a 56-49 victory for DeWitt in triple overtime. It was absolutely insane. Aiden Klein, Scooter Polk, Logan Barodachuk, Max Humphrey were all unbelievable, but so was DeWitt, and they bested them just by a bit. And a little bit more history lesson here, kind of meant to be, thing. It was just this past June that Jason McIntyre was picked by his fellow Michigan high school football coaches to join the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Yeah, just this past June. Stars align kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. An old movie quote here for you 90s kids. The rom-com Can't Hardly Wait with Jennifer Love Hewitt. The angel, Dharma from Dharma, and Greg says in that movie, there is fate, but it only takes you far because when you get there, you got to make it happen. And that's how I feel about this game right now with the Oilers. Obviously it ain't fate. It's the hard work and everything that has got them here. But, oh, boy, the challenge that lay ahead is a big one. And DeWitt, but, again, you are here. You deserve to be here. You are 13-0. And this week I cannot imagine the passion, the angst that built up in these guys when you look across the state of Michigan and pundit after pundit after pundit picked DeWitt to win this game. And I think a lot of those people picking DeWitt never really went north of Lansing and saw what these Oilers can do. There was one guy from the Petoskey News that actually had the quote that Mount Pleasant hasn't wowed anybody. And I thought, well, a guy from Petoskey got stopped by Gaylord, and Gaylord, they were 10-0. They bit the dust against the Oilers 49-0. It's 13-0 Mount Pleasant, 13-0 DeWitt. It is the D3 state championship, and if my little rundown history lane did not get you ready to go. We got the commercial break, and then we have got that hype video that's been viewed like over 25,000 times on Facebook. A big shout out on Instagram. Big shout out to everybody for checking that out, checking out the Facebook page. If you're not following me, subscribing on YouTube and Facebook, please do that. You will never miss a live event. Going to take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show. Best seat in the house brought to you by Woods Household Appliance. Well, it's actually not this guy. I am 7 floors up here at Ford Field. My main man, Adam Gursky, is down on the field with the camera getting us some highlights for this state championship game. He has got the best seat in the house brought to you by my friends at Woods Household Appliance. I also love the Gates Drilling and Service, our halftime sponsor. Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, aforementioned, along with Brad Malley Well Drilling and Malley Construction. And guess what? Basketball's right around the corner. Tuesday, Elma hosts Shepherd. I'm actually not, or Shepherd hosts Elma, pardon me. Actually won't be covering that one. WQBX, Topher Goggin, Topher Great, those guys will be on the call for that one. Make sure you check that out. And then Friday, though, I will be back on the airwaves of the high school boys basketball action as Shepherd and Clare battle it out. And then that next Monday, it'll be Shepherd and Beale City. You'll get to see the debut of the scintillating freshman, Mr. Grady Gates. We're going to take a break here on our Woods Household pregame show. Got a little bit of a commercial break, and then we're going to send it off to the hype video. If you're not ready for this game, we'll get you ready here real quick. It is the Division III State Finals. The Mount Pleasant Oilers, the DeWitt Panthers. More coming up in our Woods Household pregame show right after this.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary, he can be yours too.
Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Bogwai Banga and Bradley on Main Street in Mount Pleasant provides uncompromising integrity when providing tax and accounting services to individuals and small businesses in the Mid-Michigan area. Bogwai Banga and Bradley has an expert CPA ready to help you, whether you're an individual that needs help with taxes or a business that needs help with, well, just about everything. Bogwai Banga and Bradley is a leader in the community and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Visit them online at bwbpc.com or stop into their office on Main Street in downtown Mount Pleasant. Joe Wentworth with Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes, working hard and showing pride for our community. For all of your real estate needs, go with Joe. Joe Wentworth with Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-817-1291. Martinez Lawn Care, just like our local football teams, can keep your yard looking good deep into fall, and we all know winter is coming. Call now to get on their snow plowing schedule. Find Martinez Lawn Care on Facebook or call them at 989-317-5536. Brickner and Bunker Farm Bureau Insurance Group is Mid-Michigan's #1 team for protecting what matters most to you. Home, auto, life, farm, business. They offer a wide variety of coverage at affordable rates with the customer service of a best friend. Visit Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group on Pickard Road or visit them online at bricknerbunkerinsurance.com. Where do high school football championship seasons start? Maybe in the summer, maybe freshman year, maybe even before that. And what's something you would want people to know about, like, this team, this group of seniors, this roster this year?
We're all just really close. We've been playing together forever.
We want to win, man. There's nothing else to it. We've been playing the same group of guys since 3rd grade. You know, we could start doing it. We've always just had that on our mind.
These Oilers have been playing football together pretty much their whole lives, and it's led them to the pantheon of high school sports the football state championship. This Oiler team has won every game. They are 13-0. They have checked every box. SVL, district, regional champions, and now state finalists after dominating Lowell in the state semifinals. Oh, he is grabbed up by Mr. Cade Wheeler. Hands it off to the deep back. Adrian Castellan brings him down at the 20-yard line for no gain. There goes Phillips, bulldozing his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Oilers. Frazier's going to run it here to the near side. Turns on the Jets. He might go again. He already had a 90-yard run. Now he's looking to go 89 yards. He's at the 20, the 10. There goes the junior, Xavier Frazier, with his second long touchdown run of the game. There is the final knee for Mr. Xavier Frazier. No timeouts coming from the sideline of Lowell. That will do it. Your Oilers, state finalists, heading to Ford Field as they take out Lowell 41-21 in an absolutely dominant performance. There is only one trophy left to win, and for the seniors, this is it. One game, one more time to put on the Oiler uniform, and there is no more light at the end of the tunnel. It all ends where every kid dreams of being the first time they put on their school's jersey, marching onto Ford Field with their best friends with a chance to win a high school football state championship, the first ever in Mount Pleasant Oiler football history. Well, if that doesn't have you ready to go, I do not know what will. It is D3 state championship football. The Mount Pleasant Oilers, the DeWitt Panthers. Panthers are out on the field, lined up pretty much from the end zone all the way across the 50 to the 30, as they have a boatload of seniors as well. Talked about it the last couple times we've done Mount Pleasant games. I believe it is 23 seniors for the Oilers. I want to say I counted 26 or 28 out there for the DeWitt Panthers. But when it comes down to the Panthers, similar to last week in Lowell, it's all about the quarterback, Traverse Muller. On the year, he's got 2,100 yards rushing with 29 touchdowns. He has 870 yards throwing the football to go along with 12 touchdowns. But not to be outdone, the junior Xavier Frazier. Coming into last week, he had thrown for 1,548, ran for 927, and I said it a bunch. He wasn't all-state. He was all-American in that game, and here come the Oilers out onto the field, rocking the all-white. The stands are all-white as well. You can see a little bit of it there. I'm going to zoom out on that again. Can't have any shots of the field, but you can see the white out here with the Mount Pleasant Oiler crowd. It is huge. And then I'm going to zoom back in here on the score to give you the best experience that we can, so you always know that down, distance, time, and score. If I'm not bringing it to you every second, they're just about getting ready for the national anthem here. We're going to send it off to another break. When we come back, we'll talk about the starters for the Mount Pleasant Oilers. Actually, I'm still waiting for them to go through the MHSAA announcement. It'll give me a moment to go through those starters for Mount Pleasant. Offensively across the line, Omari Booker, Cade Wheeler, Court French, Tyler Shell, and Kyle Wallace. Jack Mazurkovich at tight end. Wide receivers, Zay Rodriguez and Riley Olson. In the backfield, Xavier Frazier, Graham Phillips, Brady Edwards, sending out the national anthem. Back with the kick right after this. Weefridge Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weefridge Financial. Weefridge Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeefridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. Weefridge Financial, member SIPC. Martinez Painting, Central Michigan's trusted painting professionals. They specialize in both interior and exterior jobs for your home and business. No matter how big or how small the job, they transform any space with quality and precision. Learn more by visiting Martinez Painting on Facebook today or give them a call at 989-317-5536. All Seasons Fireworks is a big fan of all the athletes, coaches, officials, and volunteers who make high school sports happen. To make your next event bigger and brighter, stop by All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. Graduations, birthdays, weddings, or a big win become more memorable underneath a night sky lit up by the magic of fireworks. All Seasons Fireworks on M20 in Mount Pleasant. When your team or business needs to look good, don't get left hanging. Call or stop by Hanging by a Thread in Wademan, the official embroiders for the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Hanging by a Thread, a proud supporter of local schools.
GNS Mechanical in Wademan offers service and installation on everything for your home and business. From a simple filter replacement to furnace, central air service, and install, geothermal, and walk-in coolers and freezers. If you have a need, GNS Mechanical has a solution. Learn more at gnsmechanical.com or call 989-644-2106.
Imagine a home that reflects your style. With WW Construction, that dream will become a reality. As a trusted Mid-Michigan builder, WW Construction specializes in builds and remodels that turn ordinary spaces into extraordinary ones. Join the growing family of homeowners who trust WW Construction for quality and craftsmanship. Call WW Construction today at 989-621-2722 to make your dreams a reality. Welcome back to Ford Field. We are ready for the opening kick. The Oilers will be kicking off to the DeWitt Panthers. Running backs go. The returners got some room across the 40, out to the 50. It is a great return and a great start for the DeWitt Panthers. On the return was Mr. Landon Kearns. I'll just make the joke. Kearns is not what it says on my roster. I'm glad I waited for a moment to hear it from the PA. Here come the DeWitt Panthers. The Mount Pleasant Oiler defense is out there. We talked about the offensive starters for Mount Pleasant. Your defensive starters for the Oilers across that line. You've got Tate Jefferson, Cade Wheeler, and Kurt Freeling, and Taylor Hope. Graham Phillips, Jack Mazurkovich, Adrian Castellan, Zay McGinnis, Noel Helm, Riley Olson, and Will Garcia. Handoff up the middle. Waiting to see the spot. It's going to be a very short run. But again, great starting field position for DeWitt. Starting at their own 47-yard line is where I'm going to call it. First possessions in these high school championship games are so big. Going under center is the quarterback, Traverse Moore. Man in motion, trying to get the outside edge. They do a good job stringing things out. Turning upfield, finding a couple extra yards is the ball carrier. Really nice job there, finding some room from DeWitt. The play got strung out all the way to the sideline. On the carry there was Channing Ridley. He had 1,098 yards and 15 touchdowns on the season. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 here for the Oilers. But with the great kick return, it's probably 4-down territory for DeWitt. We've got flags coming in before the play. And hopefully this is going against DeWitt, and they'll back them up. They're actually got some cheering coming from the DeWitt section here. Wait to see what the call is. It's going to be an encroachment on the 3rd down and 4. Woo! So that's big. So 3rd down and 4, encroachment penalty. Give a 1st down to DeWitt here on the first series of downs of this ball game. They're now going to have it 1st down and 10, the 38-yard line. Fake the handoff, run up the middle for Traverse Moore. He's going to get to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. 4th play of the drive coming up for DeWitt. I mentioned those defensive starters for the Oilers. I'll run it through once again, but DeWitt is getting to the line in a hurry as I switch the page here. Yep, they're already right back at the line. 3 guys in the backfield here for DeWitt. Going to be a short run to the 30-yard line. Nice job carrying tacklers there from the runner. And all the way to the 30. Probably should have been 3-4 yards less, maybe more. It was Traverse Moore on the carry there. It's going to bring a 3rd down and short here for DeWitt. And if you want to look up what DeWitt's offense looks like most of the time, McIntyre set out. Look up the 1940s Notre Dame offense. That's what you see most of the time. You got a quarterback, a couple running backs in the backfield, maybe in the shotgun, maybe under center. Run up the middle. I don't think Moore got it, but he breaks the tackle, gets to the outside. He's going to go to the house. Big-time play from Traverse Moore at the line of scrimmage. Olsen gives chase, but he's into the end zone for the TD. Big play there from Traverse Moore. And I'll go back to that 3rd down and 4. The penalty allowed DeWitt to get the first down without running that 3rd down play. So big touchdown run there from Traverse Moore. That will be his 30th rushing touchdown on the year. He was bottled up for a moment. Will Garcia, Graham Phillips kind of stood it up, but then he was able to bust to the outside. And I think the way things got bottled up initially, what happened there is the Mount Pleasant defense on the outside started to kind of close in a little bit, but it was not a great idea because he was able to scoot to the outside. Comes the extra points, a lefty kicker. The kick is up. It is good. 7-0. DeWitt has the lead here in the early going. We're going to send it off to a commercial break, but that powerful Oiler offense is going to take the field to see if they can respond against the DeWitt Panthers. It's 7-0. DeWitt with the lead here in the early going. Division III state championship on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Zay McGinnis, Riley Olsen back deep for the Oilers, already trailing 7-0. DeWitt on the board in a hurry. They got a great kickoff return to midfield. Olsen's going to field this one in his end zone, so it will be a touchback. Nice kick there from DeWitt, not allowing the return from Riley Olsen. 7-0 our score. Just 2 minutes and 13 seconds into this game. Oilers will take over, 9:47 left, first quarter, at their own 20-yard line. Much different field position than DeWitt was able to start moments ago at their own 47. Mount Pleasant did have DeWitt in 2 third downs. First one was a 3rd and 4, an encroachment penalty, gave him a first down. The next third down, it's a touchdown run for Traverse Moore. But it looked like they had things bottled up, but you saw them or heard the speed of Moore. Fake the handoff on the jet sweep, going to throw it over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Zay Rodriguez. The throw was a little low, but think Xavier Krazier had to throw it low to Rodriguez to make sure he was the only one that had a chance to catch it. The offense again for the Oilers. Across that offensive line, starters for Mount Pleasant. You've got Amari Booker, Cade Wheeler, Court French, Tyler Schell, and Kyle Wallace. Jack Mazurkovich at tight end. Wide receiver Zay Rodriguez, Jules Wilson, Zay McGinnis, and Riley Olsen. Graham Phillips in the backfield with Mr. Xavier Krazier. Could also see Prosper and Harona in there running, maybe Jake Hutchins as well. But it's going to be Phillips most of the time in the backfield. We got some jumping off sides here, or a false start. It looks like it's going to be going against the Oilers. And so not a good way to start for Mount Pleasant offensively. Got an incomplete on first down and a penalty on second down. So false start. It's going to make it 2nd down and 15. So you lose 5 yards there. Krazier rolling to the near side here. It's going to be a run all the way. Spins out of one tackle, looks to stay on his feet. He's going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. Excellent tackle in the open field from the DeWitt Panthers. Bringing down the ball carrier, Xavier Krazier, was Mr. Lucas Brandel. Or Brandel, pardon me. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Oilers. Actually, going to say lost a little bit of yardage there as well. 3rd and 17 coming up from Mount Pleasant from their 13. Great start for DeWitt. Not a great start for the Oilers, but they've got that speed on the outside with Riley Olsen and Zay Rodriguez. Two wide receivers lined up to the left of Crazier. He's rolling that way, looking to buy some time. He's going to go downfield, going long. It's going to be incomplete. Might have just been throwing that one away. Closest wide receiver to the play was Zay Rodriguez. It's going to bring up 4th down, a definite punting situation here for the Oilers with 4th and 17. And so not the start you want if you're Mount Pleasant. Almost kind of the opposite of last week versus Lowell. You give it to DeWitt, they go right down and score, then you immediately go 3 and out and give it right back to them. And one of the DeWitt players is actually trying to bat that one back in bounds to maybe get the interception. Riley Olson standing at his own goal line right outside that Honolulu Blue at the 1-yard line. It's a decent snap, looks to get off that rugby-style punt. It's not going to be a good one. It's going to go out of bounds off the side of the foot of Olson. It's going to be great field position for DeWitt. I'm talking the Mount Pleasant Oiler 20-yard line. Not a good punt there. And so it's going to be great field position for DeWitt. This is the start you dreamed of here if you're the DeWitt Panthers. It's 1st down and 10. They're actually going to say it's the 33-yard line of Mount Pleasant where they'll start. And I'm way up here in the corner, stuff to have that great vantage point, but I think they did get a beneficial spot there. Steelers don't even have the ball for a minute. They got it with 9:47 left. With 8:50 left, it's immediately going back to DeWitt. 7-0 Panthers with the lead over the Oilers here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. They've got a 1st down and 10 at the Oiler 33 after the short punt. Run to the far side for Moore. Give and chase, not able to catch him in the backfield. It's going to be a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Graham Phillips might have been able to get a hold of him in the backfield. Moore breaks away from him. After he got past Phillips at the line of scrimmage, there was nobody left. It's a Moore TD run on 1st down and 10. And, oh, boy, just like that, the DeWitt Panthers go up 13-0, and everybody in white at Ford Field is a little shell-shocked right now. What a start for Traverse Moore and the DeWitt Panthers. The only good news I have for Mount Pleasant folks is that Traverse Moore will be going to CMU next year, and boy, he has looked really terrific running the football. I think he's actually listed as a safety going there, but if you're one of the CMU coaches watching what he's done here, carrying the football early, you may want to reconsider that. 13-0 DeWitt. We are not even 4 minutes of the ball game. We've only played 3 minutes and 20 seconds of game time, and DeWitt has already opened up a 2-score lead. It was a great return, start near midfield for their first possession. Mount Pleasant got him to a 3rd and 4. There was an encroachment, and the next 3rd and 4, it was a Traverse Moore touchdown run. The Oilers went 3 and out. Punt was shanked a bit. It allowed DeWitt to start at their own 33, the Mount Pleasant 33. The very first play, Moore into the end zone for the touchdown. The extra point is blocked here, though. So 13-0, DeWitt with the lead instead of 14-0. But right now, that's the only positive thing you've got to talk about if you're Mount Pleasant, is that blocked extra point. It looked like it was either Phillips or Riley Olson that got through to get a hand on it. We're going to keep our broadcast right here as they get ready for the kickoff. Much love going out to J&J Auto, sponsor of our Collision Report. Blockco Pools and Spas, they always say heating up like a Blockco Pool and Spa. Traverse Moore, he is already steaming hot out there. Also love to Konwinski Construction, the builder of our Barbary Law Studios, coming to you 7 floors up at Ford Field today. So love to Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, E&S Gravix, Mount Pleasant Automotive, Bryce Updegraff, Joe Wentworth, Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates. Also love Mount Pleasant Public Schools, High and Tight Footballs, part of the High and Tight Turnover Battle. So love to Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai, Banga and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Buckner Farm Bureau Insurance Group, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, and GNS Mechanical. Riley Olson, Zay McGinnis lined up back deep once again. It's still really early, but it already seems like the Oilers, you can't go 3 and out here again and give it right back to DeWitt. They've scored 6 times in the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this first quarter. Going to be fielded by Riley Olson. He's got some room to the far side of the field, across the 30, across the 40, makes the kicker miss, across the 50, pushed out of bounds at the DeWitt 40-yard line. What a run back there for Riley Olsen. That is just what the doctor ordered for the Mount Pleasant Oilers. They have got it in DeWitt territory to start this drive with 8:29 left in the first quarter. Again, it's been a rough start. You're already down 13-0, but there's still so much time left in this football game. DeWitt's been here, this is 3 out of the last 5 years that they've been here. You're still settling in. Now you say, all right, boys, we're down 13-0, but we can come back and win this one, no problem. I formation look. Brady Edwards at fullback. At tailback, it's Mr. Graham Phillips. Mazurkovic goes from the left to the right of the quarterback. It's a handoff to Graham Phillips. As he does every time he touches the rock, he bulldozes forward for a couple extra yards. It should have been a pickup of maybe 2, but because of the effort of Graham Phillips that he shows on every single play, it's going to be a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Oilers coming up. Very important they get some points here on this drive. Just said moments ago, I don't think you need points on this drive. You just can't go 3 and out. But with that good kick return, you get this type of field position, you have to take advantage of it. 13-0 DeWitt, 13-0 Mount Pleasant here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. I-form look, a weak eye with Brady Edwards out to the right of the quarterback. They fake the end around. They go to Phillips. He breaks one tackle and another. He's across the 30-yard line for a first down. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. That is what it sounds like if you're trying to tackle Graham Phillips because he is just bulldozing over you. 1st down and 10 for the Oilers. The first time they moved the chains here in the state championship. It's Brian Weifrich from Weifrich Financial, sponsor of Zaid Batchelor, baller of the game, would say if he was at CMU. The Mount Pleasant Oilers move those chains. At 1st down and 10, 29 of DeWitt. 13-0, DeWitt already with the lead. Fake to Phillips, now running it out to the far side is going to be Crazier. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive play there from the DeWitt Panthers. They were all over that. A couple players in on the play. The first guy there making the initial contact was Mr. Tyler Bayshore. 2nd down and 10 here for the Oilers. It looked like that play was going to be open, like a couple guys maybe went for the fake to Phillips up the middle, but a couple guys stayed home, and that's all that DeWitt needed to make the tackle. 2nd down and 10 here. Shotgun look for Crazier. He's got 2 wide receivers split out to his right, to the near side of my broadcast point. Hand it off to Phillips, fake the throw. Phillips has got nowhere to go. He's brought down at the 31 by 4 or 5 Panthers. Great job defensively by DeWitt. There initially on the tack was Brendan Mensing. So the Oilers now backed up here on 3rd down. Probably 4 down territory here as well. I think if you're Coach Mack, you would have loved to have picked up even 3 or 4 there to make this 3rd down and 7. Probably going to have to go to the air here. I don't think you're going to try and run it on 3rd and 4th down with this down and distance. Probably go for a couple throws here. Halfway through quarter number 1 of our D3 state championship, the Oilers trail DeWitt 13-0. 2 touchdown runs from Traverse Moore, the CMU commit. Crazier rolling out, looking to throw, going back over the field to Riley Olsen. It's caught into the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown Oilers on the diving grab from Riley Olsen. What a play from the Oilers on the 5th play of the drive. It's the 3rd and 12 TD. What a catch from Riley Olsen. Full extension as he brings it in. He caught it at about the 2, but he had so much air underneath him. By the time he hit the ground, most of his body was into the end zone. What a throw from Crazier. What a catch from Riley Olsen. The Oilers needed something big, and they got it right there on 3rd down and 12. The TD from Crazier to Olsen. What a play. Now out there for the extra point are the Oilers. Remember, they blocked the extra point of DeWitt early. That one is up and good, so it's 13-7. Watch out, DeWitt. Watch out. Coach Fletcher out in Beale City, the former DeWitt quarterback. Here come the Oilers. Going to take a break. Back with more Oilers State Championship football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weifrich Financial knows it can be incredibly overwhelming to navigate the world of financial planning. With trusted guidance and easy-to-understand advice, you can feel comfortable in your financial future with Weifrich Financial. Weifrich Financial assists people in all stages of life with a specialization in retirement and investment planning. Experience the power of working with an advisor dedicated to your success. Visit WeFridgeFinancial.com. Visit them in downtown Mount Pleasant. Call or text 989-953-7888. WeFridge Financial, member SIPC. The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years.
Maxon with the kickoff, looking for some rooms. A Dewitt returner. He's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. 13-7 the score. The Oilers trailing 13-0. Still 5:42 left to go in the first quarter, and we've already got 3 touchdowns on the board. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a fun one. DeWitt coming out offensively. They have had it twice. They have scored 2 touchdowns on only 6 plays. Had 2 short fields. First one was 53 yards. Second one was only 33 yards. This time they take over at their own 26-yard line. And I don't think that's going to change the game plan here of the legendary coach, Mr. Rob Zimmerman from DeWitt. Shotgun look with like 3 running backs lined up to the right of Traverse Moore. He fakes it. He goes up the middle. He's going to go to the house. Traverse Moore has 3 touchdown runs here in the first quarter. Each one more electric than the next. He goes 74 yards on the first play of the drive. You have got to be kidding me. No talking with Kevin Edwards, Traverse Moore's dad, is a Shepherd graduate. So I wish that kid went to Shepherd because, boy, he has been electric here in the first quarter. Yeah, it's still the first quarter, and it's 19-7 DeWitt. Moore with 3 touchdown runs. Woo, boy. And actually, as I think about it, it was 3rd down and long. He ran it in on the first drive. That is now 3 consecutive runs that have gone to the house for Traverse Moore. One maybe 26 yards or so, another one 33 yards, this one 74 yards. They go for 2. They're not going to get it. Standing them up as the Oilers, and so they get the TD, but the 2-point is no good. And so the Oilers are making up some points here. It's 19-7 Mount Pleasant, but Traverse Moore is proving to be big trouble here for the Oilers. His last 3 runs have all gone for touchdown. On their first drive, it was 3rd down. They were backed up. Looked like he was bottled up the middle, but broke it off to the near side and showed the speed getting to the corner of the end zone. Second drive, it was just a run. He was wide open for it. Same with this 3rd drive, 74 yards. So he was in the shotgun. He had a running back next to him and then 2 up backs lined up there. All the motion went to the left, like they were giving it to the running back with 2 lead blockers. The Oilers defense followed that way. It was wide open up the middle for Traverse Moore. And again, against a normal quarterback, you might be able to get there if you're one of these elite Oiler defensive players, but you start to see what that Division I speed is like. And Mr. Traverse Moore, a big-time touchdown run there for the senior quarterback from DeWitt, headed to Central Michigan University next year. And again, when you look at the 24/7 Max Preps rankings, he's like number 40 in the state. He's listed as a safety. Part of me thinks maybe not quarterback, but man, he looks like a really good running back out there. Shout out to our friends at CNC Enterprises, your home for all things Red Wing and Irish Setter boots. And it's cold out there today. It's going to be cold for a long time. Get that Carhartt. They've got it for you at CNC Enterprises. Here comes the kickoff from DeWitt. It's going to be a squibber. It's going to go out of bounds. Be decent starting field position for Mount Pleasant with 5:31 left to go here in the first quarter. And so if you are DeWitt, your last 2 drives have been 21 seconds, 11 seconds, and even your first drive was only 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Usually that's not a good thing, but when they're all resulting in touchdowns, you're going to take it every single time. The kick going out of bounds, the Oilers have it 1st down and 10 at their own 35-yard line. And the Oilers don't have to score here, but important, I think, for them to respond and just get something going here. Handoff up the middle. Not really a lot happening for the Oilers there. It's going to be a pickup, maybe 2 or 3 here. And caught 3 yards. Second down coming up. Phillips will remain in the backfield. Coming in with the play for the Oilers. It's Krazier. Brady Edwards getting himself a break because they bring a little bit lighter package in there. Maybe think about throwing the football a bit more. We have a timeout on the field coming from Mount Pleasant. Second down and 8 coming up with 4:55 left to go in the first quarter. We will keep our broadcast right here for the moment. 19-7, DeWitt with the lead. The last 3 times Traverse Moore has ran the football, he's gone to the house. It took him 5 plays, 2 minutes and 13 seconds on the opening drive of the game to score. The Oilers then took over at their own 20 with 9:47 left. They went 3 and out. It was a bad punt setting up DeWitt at the Oiler 33-yard line. The first play, touchdown run for Traverse Moore off to the far side of the field for my broadcast spot. The Oilers then got it at the 42-yard line of DeWitt, and they responded with a huge 3rd down and 12 touchdown toss and catch from Xavier Krazier to Riley Olsen. Problem is they gave it back to DeWitt the next play. 74 yards this time from Traverse Moore. He has been better than advertised. Unbelievable for Traverse Moore here in the early going. I formation look for Xavier Krazier. He's going to pitch it to Phillips. Now they look to throw a little shovel pass up the middle. It was red all the way. I really like the play call there from the Mount Pleasant Oilers. Trying to kind of sneak Drew Arntz out of there. So what happened is they pitched it to Riley Olsen. He quickly pitched it up. And it looked like it might have been open, but it was a great read defensively from DeWitt. In on the tackle was Everett Cooper. So that's going to bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 7 or 8 here. And you get a great read there by the DeWitt defense. They don't make that initial tackle. Might have been some room for Arntz to run. Here comes an empty set 5 wide on 3rd down for Krazier. He's got some time to throw. He's now got to roll here to the near side. He pump fakes. Stays on his feet. Dances away from defender. Throw is going to be incomplete. Might have gone right through the wickets of Jules Wilson there, but it was a little tall. What a couple moves from Xavier Krazier to create space in the backfield to just be able to throw the football. But it's going to bring up 4th down as it was incomplete. Even if Wilson brought it in, he did have a defender bearing down on him. I don't know if he would have been able to pick up 1st down yardage, but seeing the replay that I've got up here in my booth, Jules Wilson definitely thinks that he should have been able to catch that one just by his reaction. Riley Olsen now standing at his own 25-yard line, ready to boot this one away. Back deep, ready to receive the punt is Mr. Jaden Bender. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. I think that's part of the game plan right now for Riley Olsen and Jason McIntyre. You don't want to kick it to Bender, who's an unbelievable athlete. Defensively, Bender has 7 interceptions on the year for DeWitt. 19-7 is the score. 3:56 left to go first quarter. DeWitt taking over at their own 31-yard line. Things are not starting great for the Oilers. It was 13-0. They got on the board. I've said it a few times. Say it again. The last 3 plays from DeWitt have all gone to the house. Traverse Moore has 5 carries for 141 yards and 3 touchdowns. Woo! Woo! Here we go. 1st down and 10 for DeWitt. The Oilers got to get a stop. It's a shotgun look for Moore. One running back to his right. They've got an up man right in front of the right guard, right tackle, right behind the right guard, right tackle. Handoff up the middle, just a traditional run here, not a bunch of fakes or anything. It'd still be a 4 or 5 yard pickup. So DeWitt, still haven't seen him go to the air here yet. The Oilers have picked up 2 first downs. They have 11 rushing yards and 31 passing yards. For DeWitt, they've got 4 first downs and 151 rushing yards. And if you go to the MHSAA football page and scroll down, you'll be able to access the same live stats page that I got. Fake run here with the quarterback, handed off on the misdirection play. The Oilers are ready for it that time. Great play from the Oilers defensively. There to make the play, Mr. Jack Mazurkovich, Mr. Will Garcia, and Mr. Graham Phillips, all there to make the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and maybe 4 or 5 or a long 3 here, I think is what they're going to call it. This is big for the Oilers. You need to try and get off the field here. Jaden Bender is going to be lined up to the right of the quarterback. Man in motion. It's going to be Traverse Moore all the way here. He looks to run it up the middle. Finds the crease. Gets away from one man. He's going to be brought down from behind by the Oilers. Adrian Castellan coming in to make the tackle, but it's going to be a first down carry for Traverse Moore. Clock moving, 2:44 left to go, first quarter. Division III state championship football on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, coming to you live from our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction at Ford Field. The Oilers trail 19-7. Run for Moore, looks to get to the outside. Great job wrapping them up from behind by Mr. Riley Olson. Olson showing his speed coming in to make that play. Had some boos kind of coming from DeWitt, looking for a flag on the field. I don't see one. It's going to bring up second down and 7 here. 5th play of the drive or so. And Traverse Moore has been the dude, averaging 25 yards a carry. Fake the handoff one way, now go the other way on the misdirection. Oilers looking to string it out to the far side. Castellan can't, part of its helm can't get there. Inside the 20, down to the 10 is the runner for DeWitt. What a run there. That was Channing Ridley with the carry. The Panthers have got it first down and 10 inside the red zone. And the shotgun snap was taken by Moore. He faked it one way, kept his back to the line of scrimmage as the other running back came across from the other side. A lot of misdirection pretty much on every single play for the Panthers. That's what makes them so tough to defend. Shotgun look once again for Moore. Run up the middle, the ball carrier this time. Carrying tacklers with them inside the 10-yard line is the DeWitt running back. It's going to bring up second down. DeWitt still can pick up a first down without getting into the end zone if they get it down to the 2. It's a big-time run there from DeWitt. On the carry was Mr. Aaron Jones there. It's going to bring up second down. It's only a 4-yard gain there. Looked like he picked up a bit more. Going to spread them out. 3 wide receivers, 1 running back in the backfield with Traverse Moore. Also an up back. They're going to pitch it to the running back. He's looking to get the wide side. He's going to cut it in for the touchdown. Big time run there. On the carry that time was Channing Ridley once again. And DeWitt is looking very, very tough to stop right now. If you're the Oilers, you're going to have to get them behind the chains on a second, third down and long and force them to go to the air. Is on the year, 810 yards throwing for Mr. Traverse Moore. Right now, you look at those live stats. DeWitt, 206 rushing yards, 0 passing yards. They haven't had to throw it once. And DeWitt now going out there for the extra point. Right now, it's 25-7. They're going to try and make it 26-7 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. An absolutely fantastic start for the DeWitt Panthers. The extra point is up and good. The Oilers have got to get something going here in a hurry. They trail 26-7. Back with more Oiler Championship football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Clark Modular Homes in Mount Pleasant are a one-stop shop from the buy, the build, and beyond with their fantastic service department. Stop in to see their selection and purchase options today on Pickard Road or visit them online at modularhomesbyclark.com. Clark Modular Homes, supporting Mid-Michigan youth in and out of the classroom.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the action here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, coming to you live from our Barberry Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Much love to Gates Drilling Service, Bill's Custom Fab, The Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. 26-7 is the score, and yes, it is still the first quarter if you're just joining us. An unbelievable start for DeWitt offensively. The Oilers got to get something going offensively again here on this drive. McGinnis has some room on the return to the far side of the field to go out of bounds. just shy of the 40-yard line. So great starting field position again for the Oilers. Again, the problem is you've given up touchdown, 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 touchdown on the first 4 drives for DeWitt when Mount Pleasant has gone, well, bad punt, touchdown, and punt. Here comes the 4th possession of the game for Mount Pleasant. Again, there's still so much time left, 36 seconds left in the first quarter. You know the Oilers have got the offensive firepower to get back in it, but they have got to figure out something defensively against this fantastic DeWitt offense. It just shows misdirection after misdirection on every single play. And then you've got the speed of the elite quarterback, Traverse Moore. They fake the handoff. They want to go downfield. They're looking long. It's Mazurkovic out there, wants to run underneath it. It's going to be incomplete on the play. Had a little bit of a beat on the defender, dove for it. It was just a little too long of a toss. Great play design there from Coach McIntyre. 26-7. DeWitt right now does have the commanding lead. If you're Coach Zimmerman for DeWitt, at some point, do you even think about running some clock? Because they work very, very fast here in the first half because you've already got the big lead. The Oilers have shown big playability with that 3rd down and 12 touchdown from Krazier to Riley Olsen. Big time pounding run here for Graham Phillips. He's going to get to the 40-yard line before he's brought down. That'll make it 3rd down and manageable here for the Oilers. And very important that you pick this up here. The Oilers have had 2 3-and-outs. DeWitt has had 2 one-play possessions, but the problem is they've both gone for long Traverse Moore touchdowns. If you've never seen Graham Phillips run the football, go check out some of the highlights that I have posted. Woo! It is amazing to watch that young man carry the football. I've said it all year long, said it in the playoff run. It takes more than one guy to bring him down. We've reached the end of the first quarter, and with 5 touchdowns from both teams combined in that first quarter, we'll keep it right here. Not sent out to a commercial break, but love to dance again. Dresco, Simon, Shop, and Wademan still need that snowball dress. Prom's right around the corner. Carol Lynch, Ed Lynch, and the crew have got you connected at the Dance Again, Dresco, Simon, Shop, and Wademan. You don't need to go to the city to look pretty. I feel like that's actually a pretty good line right there. Just head to Wademan, Dance Again, Dresco, Simon, Shop, and they will hook you up for your snowball and prom coming up here for all those ladies looking for those dresses for school. And the other ladies just want to look something nice too as well. Go check them out. Also much love to Maury Courts, Maury Gymnastics Center and Martin Ice Arena, the Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store. I'm sure the game is on at Sydney's Judges Bench. Also much love Dog Central, Berry Funeral Home, Boomer's Lawn Care, Doozy's Ice Cream Place. Almost up north, Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Brad Gross Electric, the Fisher Companies, Central Concrete, Central Asphalt, and Fisher Transportation, along with Kenneth Egger at DDS. And you know we're coming to you from the Barberry Law Studios. Got our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming up, and so far, Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game and the Mumford Oil and Gas Supply assist of the game is that toss from Mr. Riley, or the toss from Mr. Xavier Krazier to Mr. Riley Olsen. And we're going to need a lot more types of Bill's Custom Fab fabrications of the game for the Oilers to get back into this one. It's 26-7 here at the start of the second quarter. The Oilers facing a very, very crucial 3rd down and 4 here as we start quarter number 2. Zay Rodriguez and Riley Olsen are going to be lined up to the right of Krazier. In the slot, it's Riley Olsen. Lined up to the near side is going to be Mr. Jack Mazurkovic, one-on-one there with the defensive back. He has 9 touchdowns on the year, does Mr. Mazurkovic. 2 of them coming last week in the state semifinals, where he had approximately 3 receptions for just over 100 yards and those 2 TDs. The Oilers huddle back up real quick as they just now started the play clock for the second quarter. Same look, though. Olsen in the slot to the right of Krazier. They get DeWitt to jump for a moment, but they don't actually go off sides or encroach into the offensive line, so they're able to reset. Comes a shotgun snap for Krazier. Throw it out quickly. It's going to be dropped on the play. Trying to find some room on the far side of the field was Mr. Olsen. He may have had the first down yardage. Bender was there to make the tackle. That's going to bring up 4th down. Again, that's just critical right there. You allow this DeWitt offense to come back out onto the field up 26-7. Get the feeling if you're Mount Pleasant. You don't got to score on every possession, but it's starting to feel that way as you trail by 19 points here at the start of the second quarter. Bender's only about 22 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Riley Olson's going to boot this one to the opposite side of the field where he's standing. He'll get a nice little roll there. Bender is going to field it at the 12. He's going to be swallowed up right away. A nice punt there from Riley Olson. Say if you're DeWitt, you started at your own 47, the Mount Pleasant 33, your own 26, and your own 31. So this will be the worst starting field position that they have had so far in this game. 26-7 is the score. DeWitt's got it with 11:45 left to go in the second quarter. Their own 18. Actually, the worst starting field position for either team here in this ball game. Has not mattered, though, where DeWitt has started with the football. They've had it 4 times. They have scored 4 touchdowns, 3 of them from Traverse Moore. If you're just now joining us, there was one point in the game where it was 3 runs, 3 consecutive touchdowns for Traverse Moore. They come out in the shotgun. Run all the way here to the near side. There's big-time room again for Moore. He's got to cut it back inside. Now he cuts it back to the outside. He's across the 50. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Another huge run for the quarterback. Yeah, they're coming out there in that offense. They could snap it to Traverse Moore, and also back there in the backfield is Mr. Tyler Bayshore that they could snap it to as well. Then they're faking it one way, going the other way. It's a very, very tough offense to defend, and they're running it to execution right now. Misdirection play, looking for room on the far side of the field as the ball carrier, and he's got it. Garcia's going to bring him down, but not before he picks up first down yardage. Big run on the play there for DeWitt and Channing Ridley. That will move the chains, though. So 2 plays, 2 first downs. DeWitt covered a whole lot of real estate out there real quick. Brought to you by our friends Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, although they'd rather have it be the Oilers covering a whole lot of ground out there. Shotgun look, 2 upbacks right in front of the quarterback. He's going to run this one all the way. The Oilers are going to swallow him up at the line of scrimmage. McGinnis is there with the play. Castellan also coming out of the pile as well, along with Mr. Will Garcia. 2nd down and 8 here for DeWitt. We have a couple substitutions coming in, coming out. The first time we've really seen him not run a play with urgency right now in this moment, I feel like. Coming in with the play is Jaden Bender, the electric wide receiver for DeWitt. Coming out defensively is Jules Wilson. Well, substitutions brought to you by Mount Pleasant Automotive. They've got all the substitutions you need for all the replacement parts you need for your vehicle. Trying to run it here to the near side, stringing it out as the Oiler defense. It's going to be a run of 2 or 3. Here comes a huge 3rd down for Mount Pleasant. You've got to make this a 4th down situation for DeWitt just outside the 20-yard line. Kicker for DeWitt on his couple extra points has looked pretty solid, but if you did try and kick it here, you're looking at about a 40-41-yarder. Traverse Moore has the play for the Oilers. You got to stop number 2 here. That's the number the quarterback Traverse Moore is wearing. He gets the snap, now looking to throw. He's going to be pressured. It's going to be incomplete. Cade Wheeler was there to provide the pressure to force the throw away from Traverse Moore. The first pass we've seen of the ball game from DeWitt. It is now 4th down and call it 6 or 7 here. This is big. If the Oilers can get a stop here for the first time this afternoon, Miss Momentum will be wearing the all-white with the blue helmets. DeWitt out there in the all blue with the blue helmets. White out here from Mount Pleasant. You kind of see a few people trickling in the stands below where I got the scoreboard. If I zoomed it out further, actually we got a timeout on the field. There'll be a timeout coming from DeWitt. Want to make sure they've got the correct play for this 4th down and 6 play coming up. And this is going to be one of the biggest plays of the game. Mount Pleasant has yet to stop this terrific offense of DeWitt. You think about how great that defense has been all year. McGinnis, Olson, Wilson, Helm, Castellan, Phillips, Holt, Freeling, Jefferson, Mazurkovich, Cade Wheeler. They have all been absolutely unbelievable. And also shout out to Levi Hoffman, who wishes he was out there but out with injury. They've been so great all year but have not faced an attack quite like this DeWitt Panther offense. And put up 72 different times in the playoffs. That is how good DeWitt has been this season. I'll say that again, 72 2 different times in the playoffs. Just absolutely unbelievable. Matter of fact, the fewest points that they've scored all season long was in their opener. They won 21-3 over Hazlitt. Since then, it's been 44, 55, 38, 58, 58, 59, 51, 63, and then the playoffs, 70, 45, 70, and 41. Here comes the 4th down play. Moore's going to throw it here to the near side quickly to Bender. He's got the catch for first down yardage. Great pitch and catch right there from Traverse Moore to Mr. Bender. It's the 3rd first down of the drive. But if you're the Oilers, you couldn't let them run for it there, I will say. They throw for it. They get it. You say, all right. Well, here they come quickly to the line once again. 3 guys in the backfield. Snap's going to go to the middleman, trying to pour his way up the middle. This is not Traverse Moore with the carry. It's going to be a solid gain of 4 or 5 on the play. With the carry that time, it was Bayshore. And, you know, we're coming to you from our Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Bill's Custom fabrication of the game. For us Oiler fans right now, it's a 3rd down and 12 pitch and catch from Xavier Frazier to Riley Olsen. But overall, it's got to be the 74-yard touchdown run from Traverse Moore where he went untouched. Snap goes to Moore, running off to the near side. He's going to get into the end zone. We've got a flag coming in. We have a flag coming in. If this is a hold, it will be a big, big deal for Oiler fans. If it's going against Mount Pleasant, the touchdown will stand. And it will be a hold going against DeWitt. If you're Mount Pleasant, you have to take advantage of this right here. Because Moore was in for his 4th touchdown of the first half. So that'll back him up. So now it'll be, 2nd and 15 now coming up? Actually, they're going to say the hold occurred more near the goal line there. It's 2nd down 11 coming up from the 15. That's the scenario. Shotgun snap, hand it off, trying to find some room. We got another flag coming in for another hold. Helm's also going to string this one out. We have a couple more flags all over the place, And so this continues to back up DeWitt. This may be the moment the Oiler defense has been waiting for. Waiting to see the call here from the official. 26-7 is our score here. Here comes the official call. And a couple, 3, 4 flags coming in on this play. And the body language of DeWitt. And so we'll replay 2nd down. It's going to back them up even further here. But what you've seen from Traverse Moore, you can keep it on the ground here if you're DeWitt. Moore's getting the play from the sideline. Trots back in. Again, right now DeWitt's lining up with 1 or 2 running backs in the shotgun. Either one of them could take the snap. Then they've got a couple up backs lined up behind the right or left tackle or left guard. They fake it to one of them, kind of go the other way. This is more traditional shotgun look with 3 wide receivers. They're going to pitch it to the running back. Riley Olsen's got to turn him inside. He does, but it's a great cut from the running back. Finding some room out there is the ball carrier, Channing Ridley. He's going to make it 3rd down and manageable here with that nice run. I think we've got the 9th play of the drive coming up here. Your boy thrown off by a couple penalties. 3rd down. Actually, they did not give him a good spot over there. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. So if you're DeWitt, you're probably giving yourself 2 plays to get this. A field goal would put you up by 22 as opposed to 19, which could be a big deal. We'll see what happens here on 3rd down and long. Handoff's fake. Moore runs it up the middle. He's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown. Traverse Moore faked it one way, faked it the other way, spun around, found a hole up the middle, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. It is now 32-7. DeWitt with the lead. What a performance so far offensively from the Panthers. Mount Pleasant Oiler offense, I don't think they've been all that bad. They've had 3 3-and-outs, 1 long drive, but you expect those 3-and-outs going against championship defenses. But right now, DeWitt has all the answers going up against the championship defense of the Oilers. 32-7. What a start for the DeWitt Panthers. Lefty kicker is now out there. It is up. It is good. 33-7 is our score. Traverse Moore, the CMU commit from DeWitt, has 4 rushing touchdowns here in the first half. Boy, he has been absolutely unbelievable in this one. Going to keep our broadcast right here for the moment. So many folks to thank going around the Mid-Michigan area for supporting what we do here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. It's because of people like High and Tight, Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, why I'm able to be here at Ford Field to bring you the action. Big shout out to my main man, Adam Gursky, who's down on the field with the camera for driving down here today. So I got the Buick that does pretty good in the snow, but he's got the big old truck, and we figured that was probably the best bet heading down here today. Also, more love going out to Mount Pleasant Automotive, ENS Graphics, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Konowinski Construction, Blockco Pools and Spas. Actually, that DeWitt offense is as hot as a Blockco jacuzzi. I can officially say that. They have been unbelievable. It's 33-7 DeWitt with the lead. Also love to Malley Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Clark Modular Homes. Our friends at Woods Household Appliance in Clare. Weefrich Financial in downtown Mount Pleasant. Sponsor the Zaid Batchelder Baller of the Game. Also in downtown Mount Pleasant, the Bird All-American Grill, our post-game show sponsor. The only place you'll ever find this guy post-gaming is the Bird All-American Grill. Also love to Bill's Custom Fab, Gates Drilling and Service, and our Barberry Law Studios. You know that's where we're coming to you from. Here comes the kick from DeWitt. It's going to be fielded by Riley Olson right at his goal line. He actually steps a foot into the end zone, so it is going to be a touchback. Oilers will take over. First down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. If you tell any coach, any player that you're going to be trailing 33-7 with 9 minutes still left in the second quarter, I don't know if you would believe it, but that is how good this DeWitt offense has been here today. Congratulations to the D7 state champ, Menominee. Took out Schoolcraft earlier. So they were up 21-0 kind of when we were arriving here in that one. I think went on to win 40-7 or something like that. I'll double check that score here in a minute for everybody. Shotgun look, throw it out to Riley Olson on the near side. Gets by one guy. He'll go out of bounds at 26 or 27-yard line. Nice play call there from the Oilers. They saw something. They took advantage of it for a nice gain on first down. And in that first game, pardon me, it's 34-6. Menominee taking out Schoolcraft. Moore back in with the play. In the first half so far, Traverse Moore has 11 carries for 219 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh, man, he has been unbelievable. Frazier takes the shotgun snap, fake it, now looking for the out and up to the far side of the field. Throw's going to be a little too tall for Zay Rodriguez. It was great coverage on the play as well to the far side of the field. With the speedy Zay Rodriguez, step for step from DeWitt was Mr. Ian Sosaby. 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Oilers. You got to pick this up here if you're Mount Pleasant. Cannot punt it back to DeWitt. Clock stopped again on the incompletion. 8:47 left in quarter number 2. Tight formation here. Frazier in the gun. Running back goes from the left to the right. Brady Edwards out there at fullback, kind of lined up behind the left guard and left tackle. And it's going to be a false start going against the Oilers. So we're going to have to redo things here. Pretty sure it was going to be a run all the way in the backfield with Brady Johnson, the senior, leading the way for Mount Pleasant. Lead blocking for Xavier Frazier. We'll see if the play changes here for Mount Pleasant as we go from, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 7. And we do see some substitutions. Brady Edwards coming out of the game from his fullback spot, bringing in a more speedy wide receiver, Zay Rodriguez. Olson also coming in. Again, those substitutions brought to you by our friends at Mount Pleasant Automotive. Just like these coaches need replacement parts, so does your vehicle. Mount Pleasant Automotive's got them for you. Rolling out to the right is Frazier. Throws, it's going to be incomplete. Looking for the timing route with him and Riley Olson. It just wasn't there. That's going to bring up 4th down and 7. And with it right at your own 22-yard line, you're going to have to punt this one away again if you're Mount Pleasant. And usually if you're Mount Pleasant, punting it back isn't that big of a deal because your defense has been so elite this year. But DeWitt, again, they have had the number of Mount Pleasant here in this D3 state final. And that Oilers defense on the year, giving up 13-0, 39 to Dow, the 13 to TC Central, 14, 17, 8, 12, 14, 0, 14, 21 in the playoffs. Here comes the kick. It's going to be fielded by Bender at the 25-yard line on the run with his back to the line of scrimmage. Spins away from another guy. Jules Wilson's there to bring him down on the play. Also out there on the tackle for the Mount Pleasant Oilers was Mr. Jaden Lang. So, all right, if you're the Oilers, it's 33-7. There's still so much time left to go in this ball game. DeWitt's got it first down and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Again, Mount Pleasant's possession very short there again with the incompletions. They took over with 8:57 left in the second quarter. DeWitt's got it back with 8:28 left to go in their first half, not first quarter. 8:28 until our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Traverse Moore heading back out there. And him and Bayshore have been in the backfield together. When the two of them are back there, you don't necessarily know who's going to get the snap. They do a really good job snapping it, and Moore kind of gets it on the run if he's going to run that sweep. Run for Moore up the middle. It's going to be brought down by Helm, a couple other Oilers after a short gain. And I think if you're Coach Zimmerman, see if they start to run some more clock in between plays here. Say they don't huddle. The play comes in from the sideline. And they get to the line of scrimmage very, very quickly. There'll be two running backs in the back, or one running back in the backfield, one up man in the backfield with Traverse Moore. Three wide receivers split out to the far side of the field. They're going to run it that way with Traverse Moore. Gets away from one man. He's across the 40-yard line. Brought down on the play. Nice job coming back to make that tackle from the Mount Pleasant Oilers. Actually, it was Levi Hoffman. I talked about him getting back. Great to see him back on the field for the Oilers. But it's already a big carry there for Moore. So he's got big-time yardage near midfield. Spartans playing here yesterday. It's not the traditional Lion out there in the middle. Got the Spartan out there here at Ford Field. First down and 10 on that play on the carry from Moore. They now are taking a little bit more time getting the play in here. Three wide receivers lined up to the right of Traverse Moore. In the backfield with him is Bayshore. They send a man in motion, fake it to him. It's a run up the middle for Moore. Gets away from one man, tries to get away from the shoestring tackle of Riley Olson. Olson does bring him down, but it's another big carry from Traverse Moore. They start at their own 28. They're now marching into Oiler territory, covering a whole lot of real estate out there. Brought to you by our friends Joe Wentworth, Bryce Updegraff, Pregame Realty. Another run up the middle. Stow this one up a little bit more. It was Bayshore on the carry that time for DeWitt. And coming into this game, Traverse Moore, or into the state semis at least, Moore had 2,100 yards and 29 TDs. He's already got 4 touchdowns and 250 yards in this first half. And if you're an Oiler fan, the one good news I've got for you about that is he is committed to Central Michigan University. Again, I've said it a couple times, I'll say it again. When you look at things, they've got him listed as a defensive player on the prep rankings, but what I'm seeing him do out there at the quarterback position, woo boy, you want to get the football in the hands of this guy. Short run there. It's going to bring up third down here for DeWitt. And if you're Mount Pleasant, you've had one third down stop. Then it was a fourth down touchdown run from Traverse Moore. Moore walking the play in now. So he's got a clear shot of that play clock. Clock moving, 5:47 left to go here in quarter number 2. It's been all DeWitt. They lead it 33-7. Fake the handoff. Moore looking to pour it to the outside. There's Graham Phillips to bring him down right at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a loss on the play. That'll bring up fourth down here for DeWitt. But where they are on the field, they are going to go for this here. I talked about Miss Momentum. You need to get her wearing that all white. Right now, she is wearing the all navy blue. But a stop here could maybe just give a little bit of momentum to the Oilers to try and get something going offensively. It's high school championship football here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Spotman 7 floors up before field. Mr. Adam Gursky down on the field getting us some highlights. But right now, it's looking like most of the highlights are for the DeWitt Panthers as they lead at 3-7. Oilers had one solid drive in this game, going 5-6 plays, 42 yards into the end zone. It was a 3rd down and 12 catch from Xavier Crazier to Riley Olsen. We've got a timeout on the field. We're going to keep things right here. DeWitt facing this 4th down and 5, but where they're at on the field, you've got at the Oiler 35-yard line. If you punted it out of the back of the end zone, it'd only be 15 yards that you'd be gaining field position-wise. You're not going to try the coffin corner kick here, so you're going to go for it on this 4th and 5. And if you pick it up, if you're DeWitt, you could maybe run out the rest of this second quarter if you don't have another big running play. Mount Pleasant will get the ball to start the second half. And so what the doctor is ordering, or what I'm saying Mount Pleasant needs right now, you need to get this stop. You need to get into the end zone before the end of the half. And then you're looking at 33-14. You get the ball to start the second half. You come out, you make it 33-21. We are in a completely different situation. Winning the end of that second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, be a big deal for the Oilers if they can make it happen here on 4th down and 5 from the 35-yard line. DeWitt comes up to the line of scrimmage. It's Traverse Moore in the backfield. They fake it one way. Now they're looking to throw it downfield. Bender's out there open. Runs underneath it. He catches it at the 11. Touchdown, DeWitt. What a play call there from the Panthers. You go misdirection with the run one way, then the other way, and then you send out your speedy elite wide receiver. He makes the catch on the pass from Moore. Bender brings it in, and it's now 39-7. DeWitt with the lead. What a first half performance from the Panthers. Bender going into the end zone there. That was his 6th touchdown on the year. He's been a big factor defensively as well. 7 interceptions for Jaden Bender. Here comes the extra point from DeWitt. It is up. It is good. What a first half from DeWitt. If you're just joining us, yeah, your boy is a little shell-shocked here as well. 40-7. DeWitt in front here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. The Oilers have put in a great effort this season, but it's going to take some type of miracle to be able to come back in this one versus the DeWitt Panthers and the elite speed of Mr. Traverse Moore. You look at the stats for Moore, it's unreal. If he gets the ball back, he will end up with over 300 total yards in the first half. I'll say that again, the first half. As a team right now, DeWitt is averaging 12.5 yards per carry. As a team, they've totaled it 28 times for 349 yards. Bayshore's 7 carries, 22 yards, just 3.1 yards per carry. But Ridley's totaled it well, 6 carries for 77 yards and a 34-yard touchdown run. Traverse Moore, 15 carries, 250 yards here in the first half. Add to that 2 for 3 throwing the ball, 44 yards and a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. What a game so far for Traverse Moore. Start to wonder what the all-time record is for rushing yards in a game. Maybe something we'll check at halftime. And hopefully halftime be joined by Brenton Scobie, leader of the student broadcast program. Well, say Joe Marciando is the leader of the student broadcast program, but big hole for Jose McGinnis. He's across the 35, across the 40, across the 50. Big time return there from the Oilers. And guys said you needed to get the stop, touchdown, get the ball back to start the second half, but Mount Pleasant get a TD here, you get that momentum going into the half. Again, you'd still be down possibly, 26 if you score here and get the extra point. But, man, that's what you got to hope to do right now if you're Mount Pleasant. Have it at the DeWitt 45-yard line here. 4:36 left to go in the first half. A must-score chance here for the Oilers. This will be their 5th possession. They have had 3 3-and-outs and 1 touchdown drive. I formation look for Graham Phillips. He gets the run, looks to pour it up the middle. Doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to be brought down right away on the play. Great defense from the DeWitt Panthers. Coming in, make that tackle for DeWitt was Mr. Lucas Brandel. Brandel called his name a couple times here in the first half defensively. Think about that Weber Brothers Sawmill Timber of the game. Jack Mazurkiewicz, Cade Wheeler, Kurt Freeling, Taylor Holt, Hoffman now back. They've been great all year long. 4 wide here for Krazier. Drops back, throws. It's going to be a little too tall. Goes through the hands of Riley Olson. And a good thing that the defensive back was closing in, because if he kind of waited there for a moment, that might have dropped right into the hands of the defensive back. Is a little too tall on the play. That was Miller Wing out there defensively for DeWitt. 4:01 left to go, second quarter. And the Oilers in danger of going 3 and out again and just taking off very, very little time. You could have a running clock here in the state championship. Something's happened more times than not in the past, because depending on how those regions, districts go, sometimes you do have a little bit of a lopsided matchup here. DeWitt was the favorite, but I don't think anybody expected quite this. Throw over the middle is going to be behind the wide receiver. Incomplete. Olsen was going out on the route that time. That's going to bring up 4th down. The Oilers could go for it here. You probably need to, since you're inside DeWitt territory, but it does look like they'll send out the punting unit. So yeah, tough decision here for Coach McIntyre and the crew. But if you do pin DeWitt back deep, get that 3 and out, you could set yourself up with good field position. Problem has been every time DeWitt's had the football, they have gone into the end zone. Riley Olson gets the punt off. Be a little bit of a dribbler. Takes a nice DeWitt bounce. It'll still be not great field position for DeWitt. Goes out of bounds. See where exactly they're going to spot this at, the 15-yard line. So if you're Mount Pleasant, that is your 4th 3 and out in a row. Got the ball with 9:47 left in the first quarter, went 3 and out. Pretty much got it right back with 8:29 left in the first quarter. Put together a drive, 3rd and 12 touchdown pass, Krazier to Olsen. Since then, it's been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out for the Oilers. Gates Drilling and Service halftime report right around the bend here. So you'll be joined by my main man, Brenton Scobie from the student broadcast team. Play-by-play for Mount Pleasant Oilers. Last several years, whenever he's not out on the court, bringing you the action. Run off the far side of the field for DeWitt. Still looking to push the pile out there. Mount Pleasant wants a flag. They're not going to get it. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 now for the Panthers. It's going to be Bender trotting in with the play for DeWitt. And again, if you're DeWitt, content running some clock here. Took over again, didn't have it exactly wrote down, about 4:01 left to go. We have a timeout on the field coming from DeWitt here. Took over at their own 15-yard line, now have at the own 18-yard line. 2nd down play coming up for the Panthers. And man, they have owned this one in the first half. Traverse Moore headed to Mount Pleasant. He's been pretty unstoppable all season long. They've put up 53 times, or 2 times in the play, or 70, 2 times in the playoffs. They are possibly headed towards that again. They lead at 40-7. They've got it 2nd down and 7 at their own 18-yard line. 3:04 left to go in the second quarter. And kind of the air has come out of Ford Field here a little bit. Even if you're a DeWitt fan here, you're obviously happy about the way this is going, but you don't expect to have the second half quite like this. Reminds me a bit last year when we were covering the Beale City Aggies. So they kind of had, not all the second half, pretty much the whole entire 4th quarter to start the celebration. It's looking very similar to that for the DeWitt Panthers. They lead at 40-7. If they score here, it should be a running clock to start the second half. Again, I have to triple check with John Ross, because I've seen the running clock in basketball before in the championship games, but never football. They throw this one. It's going to be complete across the 30-yard line for DeWitt. Wide receiver Bender also gets out of bounds on the play as well. And so DeWitt, despite being up 33, they go to the air here. That'll move the sticks. I think if you're Coach Zimmerman, you're thinking, I want to get to that 35-point lead going into the half. And right now, if you're Mount Pleasant defensively, again, you're just a little shell-shocked. You're hoping something can happen to where you can make a big play. They fake it. Moore looks to pour it up the middle. He's going to be swallowed up immediately. Great job defensively. Kurt Freeling, Cade Wheeler, Jack Mazurkovich, Will Garcia, all coming in to make the play for the Oilers there. That's what you've seen a lot from this Oiler defense this year. Several guys meeting at the football. Bring up 2nd down and 12. Clock is moving. 2:35 left in our second quarter. And if you're just joining us, yeah, that is the score. DeWitt has been unbelievable offensively. They've had 6 possessions. They have scored 6 touchdowns, 5 of them from the CMU commit, Traverse Moore. Takes the shotgun snap here, runs it up the middle, danced by a defender. Nice open field tackle from the Oilers. Bringing down the ball carrier there was Zay McGinnis. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3. Clock continues to move. This next play be ran with under 2 minutes left in our first half. DeWitt has used all 3 of their timeouts. Clock will stop if they get a first down, go out of bounds, throw an incomplete pass, but it's running right now. Moore in the gun. Back there with them is Bayshore. They send a man in motion. It's going to be a run all the way for Moore. Gets away from initial tackler in the backfield. Nice job getting back there by Freeling, but Freeling could only get one hand on Traverse Moore, and that's not going to bring down the quarterback. It will be just enough for first down yardage for the Panthers. They'll have it 1st down and 10 at their own 42-yard line. DeWitt breaks the huddle. Shotgun look for Bayshore or Moore. Man in motion. Fake it to him. Now they want to go to the air. They're going to throw it out to the flat. It's going to be incomplete. Looking to connect with Channing Ridley was Traverse Moore. The throw was just a little too out front. There would have been a little bit more air underneath that one. Will Garcia from his safety position might still be running into the end zone for the Oilers. 2nd down and 10 for DeWitt. Clock stops now on the incompletion. 1:14 left to go second quarter. DeWitt leads at 40-7 here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Much love to Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefridge Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. Moore wants to throw. Got some time, just launches it long. It's going to be incomplete. It's the first play where DeWitt didn't look like they had it just all figured out offensively there. Bender was going long. Coverage was right there with him every step of the way. It's going to bring him 3rd down and 10. 1:08 left to go, second quarter. If DeWitt doesn't pick this up, we will probably see them punt the football, as you don't want to give the short field to the Oilers. Just a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Tight formation. Send a man in motion. Fake it one way. Now they hand it off up. No, it is going to the outside. But Will Garcia is there to bring down the ball carrier. That's going to bring up 4th down in what should be a punting situation here for DeWitt. See if the Oilers maybe use a timeout here to save some clock. It's 4th down and 9. It does look like DeWitt is sending out the punting unit. You have not seen them a whole lot this year. Big tackle by Will Garcia in the open field on that play to not allow the first down run. Riley Olsen back deep to receive the punt. Standing in between the 20 and the 15-yard line here at Ford Field. Punt's almost blocked. A lot of pressure on the play. Olsen looking for some room. He's across the 30. Shoestring tackle out there from DeWitt. Olsen tried to get away from him but could not do it. The Oilers will take over down 40-7 with 49 seconds left to go in half number 1. A first half that's been absolutely dominated by the perennial power DeWitt. I think last week was something like DeWitt's 16th semifinal since 2000. Just absolute powerhouse. Buddy Chad Fletcher's athletic director at Beale City High School. Middle School was quarterback there back in 2004 when they made a run to the state championship game. So a shout out to him. I think he's probably the only guy in mid-Michigan enjoying this one. But big shout out to Coach Fletcher. Crazier's got some room on the far side of the field. He's going to be brought down after a first down pickup. But if you're the Oilers, again, that old Lloyd Christmas, you're telling me a chance to score here on this drive. We got to take advantage of it. There's 43 seconds left to go. Mount Pleasant does have one timeout. 3 wide to the near side here for Crazier. Phillips lined up in the backfield with them. They're out to the far side. It's caught by Rodriguez. Looks to get away from the defender. It's a nice spin move, but he's going to be brought down or pushed out of bounds, but it is a first down pickup. I like the call there. If Rodriguez gets away from that one guy with his 10.7 track speed, he is going to be gone. Shout out to Ryan Duke. Saw him at Chipotle the other day. He was telling me how fast Mr. Rodriguez is out there for the Oilers. 32 seconds left to go. First down and 10 for the Oilers. If they get a touchdown here, ooh boy, just maybe get some second half momentum to try and come back in this one. Crazier looks to run it up the middle, gets away from one man. Now he's across the 30. Now he's across the 25, down to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And he's up with the football in a hurry to get it back to the referee to get another play going real quick. But I think we will have a timeout now for Mount Pleasant. Actually, they still have one more remaining as well. Here, 40-7 is the score. The Oilers trying to hang on by the hair of their chinny chin. They get into the end zone here. That will keep this game alive as they will get the ball to start the second half. And again, 40-14, getting the ball is not where you want to be going into the half, but that is the best situation that you can have right now. Traverse Moore through the air, 3 for 6, 58 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, it's just unreal. 19 carries for 263 yards for Traverse Moore. Crazier's got 4 carries for 37 yards. Grant Phillips, 6 for 21. Through the air, Crazier is 3 of 12, 49 yards. Riley Olson has 2 catches. Rodriguez has 1. And Drew Arntz has a catch but didn't go anywhere, and that was on a pass from Riley Olson. On a pitch and then a shovel pass. It's a nice little play design there from the Oilers, but DeWitt read it all the way. 3 wide to the right of Crazier. Also lined up to his right at running back is Graham Phillips. We've got a flag coming in. It looks like it's going to back up the Oilers 5 yards here. 23 seconds left to go in our first half. It's now first down and 15 for the Oilers. They can still pick up a first down at the 4-yard line of DeWitt. It is crucial for the Oilers to get into the end zone here. Field goal to make it a 30-point game, he ain't going to do anything. And get a touchdown to make it a 26-point game, not going to do much. It's going to be complete on the far side. Bringing in the catch is Mr. Jack Mazarkovich. It's going to be first down and goal for the Oilers. Big-time play there. Clock will stop as they go out of bounds. Still one timeout for the Oilers, so they could run the football here. First down and goal from the 4. Rodriguez lined up at wide receiver to the near side. To the far side, it's Olson. Shotgun look. Could be a run all the way for Crazier. Tries to pour it ahead to the far side of the field. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Oilers, and Xavier Crazier. This one is not over yet. The Oilers are going to have to make something special happen, but maybe that gives you that momentum you need going into the half. 40-13 now the score. Mr. Maxson coming out for the extra point. And a big shout out to Carter Maxson, his mom as well. She was the one that got me. Everybody loved that hype video I did. I think one of the big reasons was those pictures from Rocket Football of the kids talking about how long these guys have been playing together. It was actually Mr. Carter Maxson's mom that was able to connect me with all those. So big shout out to her for making it possible. The extra point is not going to be kicked as we've got a flag coming in. Wait to see the call. It's going to be an encroachment on the defense. If you're Mount Pleasant, if you go for 2 here and make it 40-15, it puts you down 25 instead of 24. I don't think you're really going to do anything different here. You're just still going to kick the extra point. Carter Maxson out there for the extra point. It's been all DeWitt here in this one. Traverse Moore, I want to say as good as advertised, but I think I should say even better than advertised. extra point is up and good from Mr. Maxson. So it's 40-14. Mount Pleasant trails DeWitt, but they get that big touchdown before the half to maybe get that momentum going into the second half. And Lori Manny Maxson, that was her, Carter's mom. Big shout out to her for helping me get some of those photos of the seniors to make that hype video as good as it could possibly be. 40-14 is our score after the touchdown from Crazier moments ago. And right now, if you're Mount Pleasant, you've got the very, very dangerous Jaden Bender. It's going to be lined up back deep to receive the kick. Actually, as I say that, I do see him going out there now, number 11. He might not be all the way back. They might be trying to line him as an up man and maybe try and sneak something here. Going back deep is going to be MHSAA for DeWitt. Here comes the kick. Not a long kick from Maxson. It's going to be fielded at the 21-yard line and a fair catch by the would-be returner there. So 12 seconds left to go. If you're DeWitt, the way Moores ran the football, I think it'd be really tough to consider taking a knee here. So he's had a 74-yard touchdown run. Channing Ridley's had a 34-yard touchdown run. Say Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming right up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We'll be joined by Brenton Scobie here for a couple minutes, talk some about this great Oilers season. Not quite ending like we would hope it to, but DeWitt, just what a powerhouse performance offensively, scoring 6 touchdowns on their first 6 drives. Is a shotgun look for Traverse Moore. They will run the play. It's going to be a run up the middle. Not really a whole lot of room for the ball carrier. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. There's no timeouts for DeWitt. And so that will take us to the half. 40-14 is our score. What a performance from DeWitt. But a late touchdown from the Oilers, keeping this one alive. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But there is time to come back 26 points in this one. But it's going to have to start with a touchdown to start the second half and a big-time stop to start the second half. We're going to take a break. Got our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report coming up here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant.
Jenna Gates
and Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Welcome to our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Much love going out to Barbary Law, the aforementioned Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefridge Financial, Woods Household Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. Woo! 40-14 is our halftime score. Xavier Crazier with a touchdown pass and a touchdown run for the Oilers. But the story of the first half, Traverse Moore coming into this game, coming into the playoffs, is kind of the MVP of D3 football, you could say. And you wondered, well, as you've seen that Mount Pleasant defense, they're pretty darn good. Whew, as good as advertised, maybe even a little bit better. Traverse Moore, over 300 total yards in the first half. He threw for 58 and a touchdown, going 3 for 6. But he ran it 19 times for 263 yards and 4 touchdowns. There was one point in the first half where he had 3 consecutive runs, all of them going for touchdown. What a first half from Traverse Moore. leading the way for the DeWitt Panthers, looking to go 14-0 in an undefeated state championship season. But the Oilers, they have got some time. They get the ball to start the second half, but they're going to have to score, not necessarily score a hurry. What's going to have to happen is you need a 3-and-out or that 4-and-out, or maybe allow a first down on the first series of drives, and then you shut them down after that. But something special is going to have to happen defensively for the Oilers to win this one. But special things happen at the state championships. We're going to set it off to This Week in MHSAA Sports with John Ross. When I come back, hopefully my main man Brenton Scobie will join me for a little bit of our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hey guys, it's Tanya from Clark Modular Homes. I'm here to talk to you today about who we are and what we do. Clark's opened in 1983 and has been centrally located right here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. We have one of the largest display centers with around 12 to 15 homes on display all year round. We have a fully experienced staff. We also have an in-house project manager who can pull our permits and coordinate our job from start to finish. We are proud to have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We are our own contractor, making it a one-stop shop for you for your home building needs. As the owner would say, we can do it all.
Brad Malley Well Drilling has proudly served Mid-Michigan since the early 1990s. We are family-owned with 3 licensed drillers and over 100 years of experience. We specialize in 5-inch PVC water wells and systems ranging from 2 to 12 inches. Every well we do includes a 5-year warranty and 1-year parts and labor guarantee. We are available 24/7, and you'll always talk to a real person. Call Brad Malley Well Drilling today for a free estimate. Trusted service, generation after generation.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes. Blockco Pools and Spas is Mid-Michigan's #1 pool and hot tub destination that will turn your old space into your #1 destination. From delivery of a full pool for the family to the relaxing hot tub for after work for mom and dad, Blockco Pools and Spas does it all. Stop by their showroom on Remus Road to check out their beautiful selection of hot tubs and learn how you can build the pool of your dreams.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes.
Pure sportsmanship is the most important thing in high school sports. When it comes to your home or business, Pure Plumbing just might be the most important thing. If your plumbing isn't pure, don't worry, no one needs to see the other angle. For Pure Plumbing, call 989-644-8928 or visit mipureplumbing.com. Block Electric Company in Wademan has been powering Michigan for over 30 years. There's no job too big or too small for Block Electric Company, like an entire school or something simple at the home, like making sure the outdoor lighting, thermostat, or ceiling fan is installed professionally. Block Electric Company is a proud supporter of local schools and high school student athletes, learning skills in and out of the classroom to lead our communities tomorrow. Good luck to all student athletes from Block Electric Company, and go Aggies.
Records fall during a fantastic end to the girls' Lower Peninsula swimming and diving season, and 6 teams, 2 football, 4 volleyball, earn MHSAA finals wins. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Let's start on the gridiron with our 8-player football finals played at the Superior Dome in Marquette. In Division I, Martin made the nearly 450-mile trip to northern Michigan worth it as they won a 3rd title in 4 years, knocking off Blanchard Montebello 52-8. Halen Buell scored 3 times for the Clippers and ran for 179 yards. As a team, Martin racked up almost 500 total yards of offense. They end the year undefeated 13-0. Montebello ends 11-2. In Division II, Portland St. Patrick won its first 8-player title, beating North Dickinson 53-0. St. Patrick had played in the 8-player finals in 2017, 2019, and 2020, losing all 3 times before this year's championship run. 7 different Shamrocks scored, including Hudson King, who scored 2 times. King rushed for a game-high 120 yards. St. Patrick finishes the year 13-0. It was North Dickinson's first loss of the year. For more on both games, check out all the coverage at MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, West Bloomfield swimmer Elizabeth Eichbrecht. She completed career sweeps in the 200 and 500 free and posted all finals record times in both events. The 400-yard freestyle relay team at Farmington Hills Mercy, needing a win in the last race of the Division II finals, Avery Tack, Campbell Shore, Lila Collins, and Ella Hafner did just that, giving Mercy its 3rd straight Lower Peninsula Division II championship. And to East Grand Rapids swimmer Ellery Chandler, she was first in 2 individual events and on 2 first-place relay teams in leading EGR to a 3rd straight Division III Lower Peninsula girls title.
Graduating seniors could qualify for a tuition-free skills certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
During the 11-player football finals, coaches will have the ability to challenge plays, but there are some limitations to what they can challenge. First, a team must have a timeout available and call it to initiate a review. Second, there are a limited number of items that can be reviewed. Those include catch or no catch, ball carrier in or out of bounds, forwards or backwards pass, and a handful of others. If successful, the coach will be given back the timeout. In overtime, coaches can challenge once, no matter how many overtime periods are played, and only if they have a timeout. All potential scoring and turnover plays will continue to be automatically reviewed.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. In Battle Creek, 4 girls volleyball champions were crowned at Kellogg Arena. Let's start with the action in Division I. Farmington Hills Mercy needed 4 sets to down Bloomfield Hills in the finals after going to a 5th set to beat Byron Center in the semifinals. This is Mercy's 2nd D1 title in the last 3 years and 3rd in the last 7. In Division II, Detroit Country Day lost the first set of their semifinal match with Grand Rapids Christian, but then won the next 6. Winning the semifinal 3-1, and then beating Flat Rock in straight sets to win their 2nd straight MHSAA championship. In Division III, Kingsley won its first volleyball title, knocking off defending champion Kalamazoo Christian in 4 sets. The Stags dropped the first set, but won the next 3 in convincing fashion. Kingsley needed all 5 sets to dispatch of Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central in the semis. And in Division IV, Fowler won its first girls volleyball title, sweeping Mendon. The Eagles were on the ropes in the semifinals, losing sets 3 and 4 to Crystal Falls Forest Park before winning in 5 to set up their championship. For more on all 4 girls volleyball matches, head on over to MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
Jenna Gates.
And Kyle Gates here. We are the 5th generation with Gates Drilling and Service.
We've been serving our friends and neighbors in Michigan since 1893.
We have the latest and greatest well drilling technology, allowing us to put in wells where others can't.
Lake lots and tight spaces are no problem.
From our family to yours, thank you, and call at 989-772-7841 for all your well drilling and service needs.
Gates Drilling and Service, where Gates goes, water flows.
Bill's Custom Fab can handle any job you need, from large-scale steel building projects to fixing your favorite stainless serving pan. Bill's Custom Fab can weld and fabricate anything. Call today at 989 888-772-5817 or stop by on Gover Parkway in Mount Pleasant. Good luck to all of our local athletes from Bill's Custom Fab.
The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, open every day but Sunday for lunch and dinner. Delicious pizza, the world-famous Bird Burger, handcrafted, fresh-baked subs, many apps, and much more. There's something for everyone at The Bird in downtown Mount Pleasant, where friends gather like family. The Bird, supporting high school sports in mid-Michigan for nearly 100 years. We have all seen this sticker, maybe in Mount Pleasant, Beale City, Ithaca, or Traverse City. There is a reason you see that sticker everywhere. That's because Dick Sova Auto Sales has been selling sharp used cars and trucks for 3 generations. Stop in to see the Sova family in downtown Shepherd for your next low-mileage, immaculate car and see why they're known for over 40 years of fantastic customer service. Or you can view their inventory now at DickSovaAutoSales.com. Dick Sova Auto Sales, selling sharp used cars and trucks and supporting sharp student athletes. Powell Frame and Collision knows we all spend a lot of time looking out the windshield. So if yours gets cracked, dented, damaged, or destroyed, Powell Frame and Collision, along with their expert collision service, now offers expert auto glass replacement. Working with insurance, they can replace all makes and all models, including new advanced driver assistance system windshields. Mention you saw this ad and you can get $100 off of your windshield replacement. Powell Frame and Collision, downtown Shepherd. For over 4 decades, ENS Graphics has delivered confidence, trust, and peace of mind by providing their customers with expert service and using state-of-the-art technology. We all know in sports, what's on the inside counts the most. But when it comes to your business, school, organization, what's on the outside does matter. If your business needs anything printed, ENS Graphics can do it. If you want your club, team, organization to look good, ENS can help with that. They take your vision and make it their mission. ENS Graphics, a proud supporter of the Mid-Michigan community and their local athletes. Visit ENS Graphics at their location down in Ithaca or visit their website at esgraphics.com. ENS Graphics, printing all things physical.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back inside our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report, coming to you live from the Barbary Law Studios, built by Konwinski Construction. Today, those Barbary Law Studios down at Ford Field in Detroit, 7 floors up from the actual field here at my broadcast position. It's actually really cool. I'm on one of the corners here, and I have like my own booth, which is just pretty darn neat. Shout out to John Ross and the crew at the MHSAA for putting together just terrific venues every time we go anywhere for a sport. Got DeWitt out there warming up right now. Mount Pleasant still waiting to get out there themselves. I'm going to send it out to another commercial break real quick here on our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. When we start the second half, I will be joined by Mr. Brenton Scobie, senior, I'll say all-sports star for the Mount Pleasant Oilers, soccer field, basketball court. And when it comes to calling games, he does it all for the Mount Pleasant Oilers. He's done some football, he's done some volleyball, he's done some basketball, he's done some baseball, softball. Cannot wait to see what the future holds for this young man in his broadcasting career. And send it out to another break here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. You can see the clock counting down right now. I'll add 3 more minutes to that here in just a couple minutes to give everybody time to stretch back out. But if you're the Oilers, it's dire straits mode right now, but you have to come out and score a touchdown and make this 40-21 and put a little bit of pressure on that DeWitt offense. Can take another break here on our Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Back with more right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Mount Pleasant Automotive on Mission has been serving local auto shops and do-it-yourselfers since 1988. Mount Pleasant Automotive is locally owned and carries all the auto part, car care products, and auto maintenance supplies you will need. Visit them online at mtpleasantautomotive.com. Mount Pleasant Automotive, caring for our cars and our local student athletes. Konwinski Construction offers a full range of construction services on small and large projects. Konwinski Construction is a leader in the community and are proud to support those student athletes who will be leading our community tomorrow. Konwinski Construction on Gover Parkway, Mount Pleasant.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Gates Drilling and Service halftime report. Drive chart. Well, it's not pretty. Both teams did have a lot of possessions in the first half. Problem was, 6 of 7 of them converted for a touchdown for DeWitt. Not the same case for the Oilers. Oilers have gone 3 and out on pretty much all but 2 possessions. Their second and their last. So first possession started at their own 20, went 3 and out. Next time DeWitt got it was 1 play for a touchdown to make it 13-0. Then the Oilers got it, 8:29 left in the first quarter. 5 plays, a 3rd down and 12 touchdown toss from Xavier Krazier to Riley Olsen. Then the very next play was another touchdown run from Traverse Moore. This one for 74 yards. It made it 19-7. That kind of took a little bit of energy out of the sails of the Oiler faithful here. Then it was another 3 and out. And then it was a great drive from DeWitt, going all the way down the field in just over 3 minutes. It was a touchdown for Ridley on this one. That made it 26-7. Oilers had to punt it right back after another 3 and out. It was a good punt this time from Riley Olsen, backing up DeWitt to their own 18. But it didn't matter. So they went 9 plays, 82 yards into the end zone, and just about 2 minutes and 12 seconds there. That made it 33-7. Oilers then went 3 and out again. And then he had Moore hitting Jaden Bender for a touchdown to make it 40-7. Then you actually had back-to-back punts. The Oilers went 3 and out. DeWitt went, well, they got 2 first downs on their last drive, but they had to punt it away to the Oilers. They got at their own 41-yard line with 49 seconds left. They were able to get into the end zone with a run from Xavier Krazier. DeWitt did run a play going into half, but that's where we're at. 40-14 is the score. The Oilers get the ball to start the second half. If they're going to make it happen, it has to start on this drive. They have to get into the end zone here. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a hurry. You have a quick strike offense with a lot of ability. It's going to come down to stops defensively. That is what the Oilers need to make happen in the second half to get back into this one. Much love to the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, our newest sponsors here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Big shout out to everything they do. Kevin Edwards and the crew there at the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund. Also love to Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunker Insurance Group, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, along with GNS Mechanical. Here comes DeWitt for the kickoff. They lead at 40-14. They've got all the momentum right now. If you're Mount Pleasant, you need that one play. You need that big play, similar to what we saw a few weeks ago. Ithaca trailing Elkton Pigeon Bayport Laker, coming back to win that one 22-21. It was a Riley Gill touchdown in the third quarter that just really kind of got the momentum back in the blue and gold for Ithaca there. Something needs to happen here on this possession. Whether it's McGinnis, whether it's Olsen, whether it's Rodriguez, Krazier or Phillips or Mazurkovic, somebody's got to make a big play. Noel Helm feels this one on the run. Take it out to the 34-yard line. That is where the Oilers will start their first possession of the second half. Again, they have got a long, long way to go to try and come back and win this one. But it has to start here. Another shout out to buddy Chad Fletcher, Beale City Public Schools, DeWitt graduate. Said he's got so much respect for these two coaches out here today. A couple of Hall of Famers, and Zimmerman and McIntyre battling it out. Right now, DeWitt getting the better end of things on the field. Krazier's lined up in the shotgun. Right to his left is Graham Phillips. It's a run all the way for Krazier up the middle. Dances away from one man, but there to bring him down right at the point of attack for DeWitt was Mr. Noah Deneen. See what they give him on the spot there. They're going to give him 4 yards there, so a decent spot out there for the Oilers. Starting this drive, their own 34, 35-yard line, whichever one you want to call it. Krazier to the sideline. He's back in with the play for the Oilers. Shotgun look, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Krazier. He wants to throw it, going to throw it out here in the flight, short arms it a bit, diving to catch it will be Riley Olsen. It'll be a short pickup, maybe 3 or 4 there once again. It's going to bring up 3rd down and manageable here for the Oilers. If you're Mount Pleasant, if you don't pick this up here, you're right at that point in the game. Do you think about going for it again Coach McIntyre is much more intelligent than I am when it comes to football decisions, but you haven't been able to stop DeWitt. You got to get the offense going. You got to get the momentum here. 3rd down and 4, but the best situation would be not have to think about going it on 4th down if you can pick this up here. Riley Olsen switches from the left to the right of the quarterback in the slot. Movement now from the DeWitt defense. Now Olsen goes in motion. They fake it to him. Looking over the middle, it's going to be incomplete. Zay Rodriguez had tight coverage with him all the way as Krager looked to connect with him on the throw. That is going to bring up 4th down here for Mount Pleasant. And they will bring out the punting team here. Coach McIntyre realizing, man, if we give it back to him right here, they got a very, very short field. 40-14 the score. DeWitt on top of Mount Pleasant as we start the second half. And the Oilers are going to go 3 and out again to start the second half. If you want to call it 7 possessions, 6 of 7 for DeWitt, they ended the first half with the ball. Here comes the rugby punt from Riley Olsen. Takes a good bounce over the head and takes a nice the roll down inside the 20-yard line. That is where it'll be downed at and where DeWitt will take over. And the Oilers have to get a 3 and out here. If you're Coach Zimmerman, the clock is now your friend. You lead it by 3 possessions. The way your defense is played, I don't know if Mount Pleasant's going to have the ability to come back in this one regardless, but you start picking up some first downs, running some clock, you are going to be in good shape. And if you heard me say that, I think Traverse Moore would say, just run some clock. I don't know about that because he has been unbelievable in this game. So we'll have at their own 20-yard line. Traverse Moore, the quarterback, 263 yards on the ground, 58 through the air in the first half. He's going to run it again here to the near side. He's going to be leveled out there. Big-time hit from the Oilers. That is Will Garcia, a little J&J Auto collision report there for Mount Pleasant. Big-time hit from Garcia. Maybe that's what you need to do to the quarterback a few more times and get some cobwebs going up there. And so much love going out to friends. Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai, Banga, and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunkner Insurance, Brickner and Bunker Insurance Group, pardon me, the guys there. Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pier Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, the official embroiderer of the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and GNS Mechanical. We're up the middle once again. It looks like first down yardage for DeWitt. Waiting to see him actually move the chains. Nope, it's going to bring up 3rd down here for DeWitt. And if you're Mount Pleasant, I want to say you got to get the stop here on this 3rd down and short, but DeWitt has been so tough to stop in every situation, and this offense is designed in particular for these 3rd down situations to be so very tough to stop. On this next play, Bayshore will be in the backfield with Traverse Moore, I am sure. It's very tough to know who's going to get the snap. Most of the time, it's going to be Moore. They've also got an up man. It's Moore. He's going to run it all the way here to the near side. Stiff arms a man. Now he's into the open field. He might go again at the 50, the 40, the 30. He's going to be brought down from behind by Zay McGinnis, but it's another huge run from Traverse Moore. That's going to put him over 300 yards on the ground here in the state finals. What a performance from the senior quarterback from DeWitt. And there is a penalty flag on the play. It's going to be a horse collar tackle going against Mr. Zay McGinnis. And that was maybe a tough call there going against McGinnis, but that was the only way he was going to bring down the ball carrier anyway. So you're not going to end up minding that tackle. But a huge run there from Traverse Moore has got them set up. 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line. And it's official. Traverse Moore already has the rushing record for the high school football championships. The record coming into today was 314 yards from Kadale Williams with Jackson Lumen Christie just last year. Handoff up the middle, tailback looking for some room. Mount Pleasant defense is going to stand him up. Castellan, a couple other Oilers are going to bring Bayshore down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and goal for DeWitt. And again, I've got the finals records pulled up here from my MHSAA brochure. Individual records in the finals, football finals, 314. That record is already bested by Traverse Moore, and there's still a lot of time left in the third quarter if he chooses to continue to carry the rock. What a performance from the senior quarterback, setting a record in the state finals for rushing yards. Wants to run up the middle. There's nowhere for him to go. Great job defensively from the Oilers, getting into the backfield to get a hand on the ball carrier. Great job. It was Will Garcia. Also in on the play was Mr. Taylor Hope. Hope was the one that got there initially. It's going to bring up third down and goal from the 5-yard line. 7:10 left to go in the third quarter. Traverse Moore coming back in with the play from the sideline. The senior quarterback already has the all-state record for rushing yards in a state finals game. Tim and Bayshore are in the backfield. They send a man in motion. Snaps a little bit off, but Moore is able to get it. He's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line. We've got a 4th and goal play coming up. And for the Oilers, a 4th down stand will just barely keep you in this ball game. 6:35 left, third quarter. Nice job by the defensive front of the Oilers that time. Traverse Moore trotting to the sideline with the play. Taking his time, letting that clock run as much as DeWitt wants. 10 seconds on the play clock. They're up at the line in the gun. Me run all the way for Moore. He's going to be stood up, looks for the extra effort. There's McGinnis to push him back. They're going to get the 4th down goal line stop. A huge goal line stand from the Oilers. They'll get the football back. And again, somehow, some way, you're staying in this game. 40-16 is the score. DeWitt's able to go 78 yards, but they needed 80 yards. Mount Pleasant will take over with 6:03 left to go in quarter number 3. But now the problem is you're at your own 1-yard line. And you trail 40-16. 26-point game here for the Oilers. They need 4 tutties, and they need 1 or 2 of them in a hurry to try and put some pressure on this DeWitt offense, which now features the all-time record holder for rushing yards in a state finals game, Mr. Traverse Moore. The record was 314 coming into this game. Moore has 325 on the ground. What a performance from the senior quarterback for DeWitt. Here comes the Oiler offense lined up in the end zone on the end of the Lions as Mr. Krazier fakes the quick throw, now wants the out and up. It's well covered. He still throw it out there anyway. 1-on-1, waiting for a flag. There was a lot of contact out there between the wide receiver and the defensive back. It's going to be incomplete to Rodriguez. No flags on the play. Boy, the Oilers could have used one right there to get them out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Mazurkovic out there at tight end / wide receiver. And then you've got Riley Olsen and Zay McGinnis. And now a play change coming in as all 3 guys that I mentioned, McGinnis, Olsen, Mazurkovic, all come out of the game. Now going to be joined by my main man, Brenton Scobie, here on the broadcast. And, Brenton, I know we were wished it was a little bit different situation here with you coming on. Let's see if the Oilers can respond here. 2nd down and 10 inside of their own 1-yard line. A run for Krazier. He's going to get out to the 8-yard line. Big-time carry there. And I do got you and I are both stat guys. Brenton Scobie, student broadcast program from the GI Tech Center. Thanks so much for joining me. And how many Oilers football games have you done since your freshman year?
You know, I think I've lost count at this point. It's one of those things I go back and think about it every once in a while. And I always just go back 4 years ago, got my start against Kalamazoo Central before I even took a class at the high school. And now having the opportunity to be here at Ford Field today.
Pretty darn cool. And I've told you so many times, but man, you got so much more experience than anybody I know in high school. It's like I said, your broadcasting future is going to be very, very bright. Quick change of the play here. 3rd down for the Oilers inside their 10. This is big for them to pick it up. Still dire straits mode, but they have to pick this up to stay in the ball game. Krazier wants to run it. Gets away from one man and another. There he goes. He's at the 25, the 30, the 40, the 50. They're not going to catch him. 40, 30. There goes Krazier. The 92-yard tutty. He had an 89-yarder and a 90-yarder last week. He's going to outdo it this time with the 92-yard touchdown run on the 3rd play. And right now, if you're Mount Pleasant, they're just hanging around like DeWitt's had a couple chances to put them away. It's still going to take a lot, but this game's not over as Mount Pleasant gets on the board. It's 40-20. DeWitt in front. Now back to that stat I wanted to give you. Mr. Traverse Moore has the all-time rushing record in the state finals already in this game.
Wow.
Coming into the game, it was 314 from Cadale Williams from Jackson Lumen Christie just last year in the 2024 D6 title game. But he has 24 carries for 325 yards. I've made the joke a few times that if you're a Mount Pleasant fan, the one thing you can take solace in is that he is going to be coming to CMU next year. And that one's actually going to go off the goalpost, the extra point. No good, and we won't send it to a commercial break. We'll keep it right here with my main man, Brenton Scobie. And so 40-20 is the score here. Talk about what you've seen from this team. I'm not going to, what are you going to do to get back into this game? Talk about some of the games you've seen, some of the conversations you got to have with some of the guys, maybe a couple of your favorite fellow seniors that you like to watch play.
Well, I think this is just, I think the team coming into this game knew what they were going to meet, and they knew that DeWitt was going to be a strong offense. I don't think any of us realized how good Trav Moore was for DeWitt. I mean, you saw him come out in the first quarter, 3 touchdown runs, just an incredible performance. But again, you said Mount Pleasant's hanging around, and these guys don't give up. They haven't given up all season long, so they've cut the deficit to 20 here. And, I mean, they just got to stop down here on 4th down and goal and then punch it in from 92 yards out. So they have the big play capability, and they can pair that with defensive stops. This game is not over. It's not close just yet, but it is not over yet.
Yeah, if you're Mount Pleasant, if you get a stop here and score again, then you flip the pressure then finally if you can make it a 13-point game. But still a lot of time left. Here comes a kick. It's going to be fielded just outside the 20 by an up man for DeWitt, trying to find some room. Great tackle in the open field from the Oilers. Nowhere for the returner to go. Yeah, 40-20 the score here. I think I might have told people 40-16 a couple times, but the old Spockman math. That's why you're still in math class right there. Never stop doing the math, Scobie. As soon as you do, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. But MVP of the season for you for the Oilers here. If you got to pick one guy, just one guy, who you going with?
Well, it's just so hard because in every single game this year was somebody new who came onto the scene, had big plays. I mean, Jack Mazurkovich, first game of the year, I think it was 3 touchdowns at Saginaw Heritage, set the tone for the season. Zay Rodriguez, 3 touchdowns against East Grand Rapids in the regional final. But I think if I had to give it to someone, I think it'd have to be Xavier Krager. Coming on, hadn't played a snap of varsity quarterback yet.
Yeah, and he has looked unbelievable all year. Run here to the near side for Traverse Moore. Is going to be brought down after a pickup of 1 or 2 there. We'll see exactly where the spot is, but this is the possession right here for the Oilers. If you can somehow come up with a stop and get the ball back, you're going to be in good shape. And we do have a player down on the field for Mount Pleasant. Again, don't want anybody coming out. I think that might be Mazurkovich out there with a little bit of a cramp. And it's going to be Mr. Garcia. Number 8, number 8, Mazurkovich. Number 9, Garcia. Number 10, Riley Olson. Those 3 guys in the defensive backfield along the defensive line have been great all year. But, yeah, Krazier, offensive MVP. Hard to not choose the quarterback. And last week, I said a few times, he wasn't just All-State last week. He was All-American last week, what he was doing against the Lowell team. I think he had over 250 on the ground, maybe 150 yards passing. He was unbelievable. But if I make you pick a defensive MVP, again, you've seen the Oilers a few more times than me. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here for that as well.
That's a difficult one because they have guys that make big plays all over that defense as well. I mean, I think of a guy like Noel Helm, not necessarily an MVP, but he has 4 or 5 interceptions on the year. The defensive line has been strong. The linebackers have done a good job containing for the most part all season long. So they're really just a well put together unit. I don't know if I could give you an MVP on that side of the football.
Yeah, I'll say the guy that seems to be the most talkative out there is Will Garcia or whatever. It's like I said, he's a big communicator. You want to make sure he is all right here coming out the field. He's got a little hitch in his giddy-up, but he's a lot tougher than I am. I feel like on Ford Field he's doing that. I don't need any help. I'm going to make it to the sidelines just fine. And for you being able to follow your class now for 4 years, obviously weren't calling a bunch of them, but Riley Olson's been a 3-year starter. How much fun has this been for you?
Well, it's just kind of a cool full circle thing because a lot of starting as a freshman, these were all guys who I'd never seen before, didn't know any of the names. So you come as a freshman, you're calling all these seniors names, and now you get to the point where these are all the guys I have class with every day. These are my buddies. And so I get to talk with them before games. It's a really cool thing, and it actually helps me prepare better. I feel way more prepared doing games now than I did back then, I think.
Well, especially you've seen their numbers every day going up or whatever. So I imagine there's not a whole lot of recall looking back at that sheet anymore for you. You've got all the names down here. And up off the field is Mr. Garcia. We got a 2nd down and 10 coming up here for DeWitt. This series of downs right here, again, it's not the game, but time-wise, it kind of is very, very important for them to pick that up here. 40-20 is the score here. Here comes DeWitt in just this goofy offense. McIntyre said if you want to ask or tell somebody how they run, tell them to look up 1940s Notre Dame, and that's what you see out there. And they've also got the ability to spread it out, but credit to them, they haven't needed to. They've really been able to have this running attack, and there's just a fake going one way, a fake going the other way every play. A broadcaster's nightmare, this offense is.
It's very hard. I mean, even down in the booth calling the game in the second quarter, it was so hard to tell who has the football on any given snap. And I mean, I can only imagine from that far away, being right up close and personal with the defense, that's got to be challenging for them as well.
Yeah, it was my main man, John Bevere said, a former Oiler coach, former Beale City coach, you got to read those keys. Here comes the huge 3rd down play. They're going to snap it to Moore. He's going to find some room there. He's going to be very close. I don't think he got it. I think they got a step. And if it's 4th down, you got to punt it if you're DeWitt because you want to back up Mount Pleasant. You're not used to punting the football. They're going to say no gain on that play. Great job by the defensive front of the Oilers. Hope, Freeling, Jefferson, Mazurkovich, Wheeler, and Levi Hoffman's back out there as well, too. And so right now, I feel like this is the first time, Mr. Brenton Scobie, momentum's wearing white. It's been a long time, but I feel like right now momentum is wearing white. It's going to be a punt here from DeWitt. If the Oilers can take advantage, getting the ball back, they will put some pressure back on that DeWitt offense for the first time in this game. If they're able to get it back. Here comes the punt. A little bit of pressure applied. It's not a great punt. Olsen's going to field it at the 33-yard line. As I say that, it was high enough to where he had to make a fair catch. And so actually a great punt in that situation. And part of me wants to say, hey, if you want to head down to the field, go head back down to the field. But then another part of me says, since you've come up here, Brenton, things have gone pretty darn good. And so as long as you want to hang out up here, I'm going to let you do so. We've got 2:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 40-20, DeWitt is ahead. The Oilers are going to take over with it at their own 33-yard line. What are you dialing up here if you're Coach Mack, Brenton?
Well, I think if you're Mount Pleasant, I think you just have to stick with what's been working for them all season long. They looked super out of rhythm for most of the first half, and they've finally gotten back to their bread and butter here in the second half.
Going to hand it off to Graham Phillips. Phillips doing a nice job staying behind his blocker, finding a couple extra yards. That was Tyler Shell. He just kind of stayed behind there and let Shell move ahead a little bit. It's not going to be much of a gain, but it could have been a stop at the line of scrimmage. Instead, it'll be a gain of 3. Great patience there from Graham Phillips.
And he's a running back that kind of came onto the scene later on in the season. They cycled through a few different guys through the early stages, Prosper and Herona, Dev Murray. They did a good job. And now, the last few weeks, Graham Phillips has been the staple back in that Mount Pleasant backfield, the workhorse who's gotten a lot of yards and just a strong runner down there wearing number 4.
Yeah, and you've got Brady Edwards out there at fullback of the I formation. Look right now, they're going to pitch it to him. Now they pitch it to Rodriguez. Look at it, runs trick play. It's out to Krager. He's got the catch at the 40. Got to make a man miss at the 50-yard line. He somehow stays on his feet. Jukes out another man. He'll be brought down at the 35-yard line. There's the big trick play from the Oilers. Tell everybody what happened on that one, Scobie.
Well, that is something I don't think DeWitt was expecting. That's a look that Mount Pleasant gives kind of pretty often. They run that I formation with Edwards as the fullback, Phillips the running back, and usually it's just a toss sweep to the left side for Graham Phillips there. But they caught Rodriguez on the end around. Krager was wide open on that far side of the field. And how about a job down there, tight roping the sideline, spinning away a few times, extending the play.
Big play there from Krager and Rodriguez. Give credit to Rodriguez on the run, throw on the run there as well. Fake the handoff. Krager wants to go downfield. He's got a man. It's intercepted. Great play defensively. That was Jaden Bender. That's his 8th INT of the year. And there is DeWitt making the big play when they needed it. I talked about the momentum being at all white. It's now back in the navy blue after the big interception right there. What a play from Bender, jumping the route.
Well, just as it looked, you said Mount Pleasant had snatched the momentum back. DeWitt, a huge, much-needed play from their defenses. That looked, if Krager could have put a little more air under that football, Riley Olsen might have had had himself a big play outside the 10-yard line. And that's unfortunate because for most of the season, it seemed like Mount Pleasant was pretty mistake-free other than penalties from time to time. Not many turnovers. Now the last few weeks, a couple of those turnovers have come through. They didn't hurt the Oilers last week, but unfortunately today, that one may cost them big time.
Yep, he had the momentum, but now can the defense stand back up? Fake the handoff, Traverse Moore with the carry. I think that was Garcia, and on the tackle, great to see him back out on the field, so nowhere for the ball carrier to go. And again, it looks like this Oiler defense coming out in the second half, they're playing really, really tough, really, really hard. And you said these guys are never going to quit. 23 seniors on this team. They know there's no tomorrow, even if you win. This is it. This is the last time you're going to put on that Oiler uniform, and so they're going all out, and it's great to see the effort. And again, this game could be very, very different even right now. Credit to the Oilers. Fake the handoff, looking to throw is Moore. It's going to be incomplete, knocked away by Isaiah McGinnis. Great defense from the Oilers that time. Or pardon me, that was McGinnis. You see, you got 6, 8, 9 always out there making plays. It's kind of easy to goof them up. They all have that similar running style as well, too. And so, your favorite play this year so far from the Oilers? Is it one of the long touchdown runs from Krazier last week, or do you got something that stands out even more that was just an insane play?
I probably would have to give it to one of those long touchdown runs from Krazier last week. But another one that kind of sticks in my mind that was super awesome and just another lightning strike that they've proven all year is Riley Olsen's punt return touchdown against Bay City Central on homecoming.
That was big time there. Here comes a shotgun look. They're going to pitch it out to the running back. Give us some chases, Wheeler, and he's going to bring him down. Big time play from Cade Wheeler to bring down the ball carrier for a loss. That's going to make it 4th down and 15. And the Oiler defense has come to play here in the second half. They have been outstanding.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know what Coach McIntyre or Coach Van Orman told them at halftime, but they have come to play now here in the third quarter, and they get another stop. The clock looking like it might wind to the end of the third quarter before DeWitt can punt the football. They've gotten some huge stops.
And waiting to see if that will be that final. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. The fourth quarter coming up 40-20. Our score. DeWitt on top of Mount Pleasant. But the Oilers, they're making it interesting. They're hanging around. Be back with more Oiler Championship football right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Weber Brothers Sawmill has been in the sawmill and logging business since 1950. Weber Brothers Sawmill buys standing timber and logs all over central and northern Michigan with National Hardwood Lumber Association certification. You can be assured of a professional job, from the marking and cruising of your woods through the harvest. Weber Brothers Sawmill is a proud supporter of our local high school student athletes.
J&J Auto in Wademan is Mid-Michigan's elite automotive repair shop. J&J Auto offers complete collision repair and mechanical repair. Stop by on Wademan Road or call them today at 989-644-8908. J&J Auto, proud supporters of high school student athletes. Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Botman, Brenton Scobie's going to stay hanging out with me for a little bit longer. My hope and prayer is that at some point, you're like, man, I got to go get down on that field. But let's see what happens. See a little punt, pass, and kick opportunity going on for the youngsters. And I imagine you didn't get that opportunity, but now I want you to kind of tell everybody. Student broadcast program from the GI Tech Center with Joe Marciando came down here today. What was that experience like for you guys as we get ready for the fourth quarter?
Well, it was a very early morning. My alarm went off at about 4:30 this morning so I could get up, get myself ready to go. But this is just an awesome experience that the MHSAA has set up for us. I think this is the third year in a row our program's gotten to come down and do this, fourth time overall. I wasn't able to come last year, but this being my second time doing this is an awesome field trip that we get to do. Super cool to experience an NFL stadium the way that we get to today.
Yeah, and did you got to call a little bit of the game with the guys from the NFHS Network? How cool was that opportunity, or was it just kind of like, hey, I'm doing my thing here?
I mean, it was a little bit of both. Super, super special to be in that booth, and shout out to John Ross, Evan Stockton, Grant Perry for giving us that opportunity. That was super awesome from them. But just thinking about all of the legends who have set foot in that broadcast booth, Jim Nance, Al Michaels, Mike Tree, I could go on and on. Tom Brady was in there on Thursday. Just all those names that have been in that broadcast booth. Super cool.
And here comes the punt from DeWitt. Riley Olson back deep to receive the punt. Talked about it just a moment ago, one of the biggest plays of the year. Riley Olson punt return. I'd love to see one here. And I jinx him with the old broadcaster jinx as he catches it and catches the turf monster. I'll also blame Michigan State out there as well. Instead of the traditional lion, you actually have the Michigan State logo out there on center field as they were playing here yesterday, while you've got the Friday, Sunday as opposed to the Friday, Saturday games here at Ford Field. But the Oilers are going to take over. Midfield, essentially. Start of the fourth quarter. You trail by 20. This game is not over by any means. And in particular, I think the Oilers now have back-to-back, well, not 3 and outs, but back-to-back stops with this DeWitt offense. Here we go. Lined up at wide receiver, split out wide to the right of Krazier is Riley Olson. There's an up back in front of Krazier, behind the left tackle. Phillips is out there as well. Fake the handoff, room for Krazier on the far side of the field. He's got first down yardage before he's upended out of bounds on the carry. And yeah, I tell you what, Scobie, since you've come up here, boy, this game has changed a lot, hasn't it?
Well, I don't know what Coach McIntyre said, but again, this team has a lot of fight and will not give up. And finally, this offense starting to find so much rhythm that it's had most of the year, and the defense has also come to play, as we've mentioned several times, and now knocking on the door once again.
Say much love to Barbary Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, and the Bird All-American Grill, making it possible for us to be here today. Run for Graham Phillips this time. And again, it takes more than one guy to bring down Graham Phillips. You're going to need to get 4, 5, 6 hands on him to bring down that tough ball carrier. And I imagine that's one of those guys, if you shoulder bump Graham Phillips in the hallway, you're getting spun around.
Very, very strong runner. He brings a different style of running that we've seen the last several years from Mount Pleasant, that power back look.
Shotgun look for Krazier. He wants to go to the air. They fake the out and up, going towards the end zone. There's a man out there just a little too long on the play as they were looking for Rodriguez on the route there. Tell you what, great coverage on Rodriguez this game. We know how fast he is. And out on an island, a lot of the game has been Rory Ladd. But I haven't called his name because he hasn't given up a whole lot. He has been great. Big third down here coming up for the Oilers. Krazier now in this game has 9 carries for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. The junior has been electric all year long. 5 wide for Krazier. 2 split out to his left. 3 split out to his right. May run all the way. Great play in the defensive backfield. Coming in to make that play was Brendan Mensing. 2nd or 3rd time that I've called his name. And this is going to bring up 4th down. And there's a lot on the line on this play right here, Brenton.
Here, looking about 6 yards to go. So we'll see what Coach McIntyre dials up here. He's going to take a timeout to try and talk this one over.
A really good decision. And again, Coach Mack is much more intelligent than we are when it comes to, what's going down there on the field. That's why he's 168-52 overall coming into this game. But if I'm Coach Mack, I want Krazier rolling out with the option to run or the option to throw. But DeWitt's got to be thinking that as well.
That's definitely something the Oilers have been great at this year, because X is so good with his decision-making most of the time. He can get himself in space, and he knows when to throw the football, knows when to take off and run. And I think what would be great here is if we could get Krazier out in space, like you said, rolling out, and maybe getting somebody coming back against the grain, running to the far sideline on a route, and see if we can't get a wide receiver or even the tight end Mazurkovic out in space on the far side of the field with Krazier rolling near side.
I love that call. And the thing that's crazy is Mount Pleasant's still in this game. There's been an all-time record set in this one. Traverse Moore has 27 carries for 327 yards. He has already bested the state record by 13 yards. The Oilers are still in it. That tells you how well they've played lately in this one. Shotgun look for Krazier in the backfield to his right is Graham Phillips. In the slot to his right is Riley Olson. Got to be looking that way. They fake the handoff. Rolling out is Krazier. Rolling out. He's got to stop, reverse his field. Spin out of another tackle. And now he looks again in the open field. A big block, but a great tackle. What a play defensively for DeWitt. It was Everett Cooper staying with it all the way. It looked like Krazier had spun out of the last defender in the backfield, and he was going to find some room on the far side of the field. But out of nowhere comes Mr. Everett Cooper with the play, and it's a turnover on downs, and that's going to take this momentum out of the sails of the Mount Pleasant Oilers.
Just unfortunate for Mount Pleasant. They've gotten a bunch of stops here in the second half, and unfortunately on their last 2 drives, the Panthers have turned them away. Jaden Bender with the interception on the last one, and then after a promising drive, unable to convert on fourth down.
10:24 left to go in the fourth quarter. DeWitt will take over. I'm going to say it again. It ain't over quite yet. The Oilers cannot allow DeWitt to run some clock here or get into the end zone. Fake the handoff. Now they hand it off up the middle. Be a gain of 2 or 3. But you're right, though, Scobie. I don't know what was said at halftime. Something was noticed at halftime. But these guys are all selling out now defensively. And I think part of it is 3 of 7 for Traverse Moore. Zay McGinnis, Riley Olsen have done such a great job on the wide receivers that you're willing to take that risk. 3 wide this time for Traverse Moore. Takes a shotgun snap. He's looking to throw it. It's going to be caught on the near side here by Bender. Looks to turn it inside. He's going to be brought down to the 39. Kind of surprised they're going to the air here on that possession. And, stop the clock there with the incompletion. Clock is your best friend right now if you're DeWitt. 9:40 left in the ball game. And also credit to the Oilers as well. You look back early in this one, Mr. Scobie. It was 26-7 with 3:56 left to go in the first quarter. And the Oilers, since then, they've won this game. Or it's been a tie game, I guess you could say, but it's been a battle all the way. DeWitt coming out in the second half has kind of got to be thinking, where was this team in the first half? 3rd down and short. Traverse Moore in the gun. Got a running back there with him and an up back. They fake the handoff. It's a run for Moore all the way. He's got first down yardage, and you see why he is elite. And the thing that I said a couple times, when you look at 24/7 Sports or Max Preps, he's listed as a safety going to CMU, and all I can think is, I got to get the ball and get this guy the ball in his hands. He's going to make some big-time plays. So 1st down and 10 there for DeWitt. Clock moving, 8:57 left in the fourth quarter. This next series of downs or the one after that, the Oilers are going to have to get a stop or there will not be enough time left. Much love going out. Malley Construction, Brad Malley Well Drilling, Woods House Appliance, Weefrich Financial, along with Clark Modular Homes, some of our big-time sponsors here. This one's going to be a run all the way for the running back. It actually gets snapped to Mr. Bayshore, and he carries tacklers with him for 1st down yardage. A big-time run there for Bayshore. And now high school basketball starting right up. When's your guys' first game?
Tuesday night at home against Cadillac.
That's it. And I think that's Shepherd hosting Elma. I have already made the executive decision that your boy's taking a couple-day rest. To next Friday, I'll be back on the air with Shepherd and Claire. And I'll either be at the Mount Pleasant Cadillac game, the Shepherd-Elma game, getting some video just on Facebook, and actually just soaking in a game as well. Because when you call all the games, Brenton, it's a ton of fun, but there's something now just about being able to relax and watch a game, too. Moore with some big space up the middle. He's into the open field. Is going to be brought down from behind by Helm, but it's another huge run from Traverse Moore as he continues to notch his name in the state record books. And you look at it, he got 314, 307, and 306 yards. So only 3 runners ever all time going over 300 yards. And now he is putting all that to shame as he's at 362, Brenton. What a performance.
Not just setting the record, but absolutely shattering it and not done yet.
Yeah, it was the third quarter early that he had broken. So when I looked at things, I was like, you know what, I got to check that there's records in the back of this. And there was, and boy, he is, as I said, shattering that record. Big-time run here for Bayshore as he gets inside the 10, inside the 5. And we may also have some backups coming in now for Mount Pleasant. When I look at the numbers, doesn't look like it, but it's at the point of the game now where if you're Coach Mack, you make sure everybody gets that experience being here at Ford Field, because it's one thing to win that state championship, but if you look at, conversation on the field after the game, talking with Coach Frazier, he said, other than my kids being born, it's the greatest moment of my life. Bubba McLean, other than when I beat cancer, the greatest moment of my life. That's how special it is just to even get here. It's awesome to be able to hoist the trophy, but 13-0 just getting here is a very, very special thing as well. Nowhere for the ball carrier to go that time on the 1st down and goal run. And actually continue to fight forward for maybe a yard or 2 there. But when you think about this Oiler football season, your senior season, what are you going to remember most about it? Is it just getting down here? Was it the trip down this morning with Joe behind the wheel, or what are you going to remember about this year, Mr. Scobie?
I just think it's the combination of I did not expect this from this Oiler football team this year. They came out and surprised, I think, a lot of people by coming out and putting out this 13-0 record and marching all the way to Ford Field and doing it with some really big wins in dominant fashion.
And again, Xavier Frazier, first year playing varsity football, he was hurt. freshman and sophomore year, to see what he's done as a junior quarterback. It's going to be amazing to think what he can do coming back next year. Into the end zone for the touchdown is Tyler Bayshore. And again, it's going to wrap it up here essentially, as it's now a 4-possession game. Even if the Oilers got 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, that would make it 46-44. And so DeWitt can start to celebrate. But if you're the Oilers, you made them nervous for a little bit there. It wasn't an entire second half celebration for DeWitt. A lot of credit to that Mount Pleasant Oilers football team. They have battled hard here today. Out there for the extra point is the lefty kicker for DeWitt. The Oilers did block one earlier. Hold is down, kick is up. It is good. It is now 47-20. DeWitt, they're going to win the D3 state crown. The Oilers are going to have to wear the bridesmaid's dress. We're going to take another break, come back with a finish right after this on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Barbary. Just like doctors specialize in areas of medicine, at Barbary Law, we specialize in getting you the best possible results. If you've been injured by someone else's negligence, you owe it to yourself and your family to call our legal team. At Barbary Law, we focus on one thing, and that's getting you the compensation you deserve. Every case we take personally.
My attorney is Joe Barbary. He can be yours too.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582.
Welcome back to it here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Chris Bachman alongside Brenton Scobie, senior broadcaster from the Gratiot Isabella Technical Education Center. I called you the leader of the student broadcasting program. It's technically Joe, but if anybody was in the press box a few weeks ago when you guys took on East Grand Rapids, you saw who really runs the show. It's Brenton Scobie to my left here, senior at Mount Pleasant High School, watching his fellow seniors battle it here, but they're not going to be able to come away with the state title. And you kind of wonder, how long is it going to take for this Oiler football team to have that initial wear off to where you can really go back and appreciate what you did this season. I know it was the same way for the Sacred Heart Academy boys making it to the state finals basketball a couple years ago, and I feel like it's about a week. You give these guys about a week, and they might finally be over this one and realize how special of a season they had. Because you go back to 18 of 99, and when Mount Pleasant Oiler football started, this is only the second time that they've played for a state championship. In 1958, they were the quote-unquote mythical state champions from the Detroit News, led by the legend Carlo Barbary. Shout out to the Barbary Law, our big sponsors here. They come out offensively now if you're Mount Pleasant. Crazier in the backfield with Graham Phillips. And offensively, I don't know how much you change your game plan. I said defense at this point, maybe you get some guys in or whatever. But offensively, I think you're still trying to score and score in a hurry. We're going to have a timeout coming from DeWitt here on the field with 6:19 left to go in the fourth quarter. And I think this is Coach Zimmerman, the respect he has for the Oilers, what he saw offensively. He saw that formation and said, I don't like the way this looks. We're gonna take a timeout here and redo things. Much love also going out. CNC Enterprises, Red Wing boots, Carhartt jackets, Irish Setter boots. They've got them there for you. And also the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, one of our newest sponsors here, doing great things in the Mid-Michigan area to help those youngsters learn about all things sports and everything they need to know. And look across the way at my buddy Adam Gursky walking across the 50-yard line. Got to give him a big shout out. You've seen him at a bunch of games. All I do is buy the guy dinner, man. And he comes, helps me out. And he ain't doing it for me. He's doing it because he knows these kids deserve the love out here. What a year it's been of high school football. And I was telling him how lucky we are. Back-to-back years here at Ford Field. Say, hopefully we're back again next year and the year after that. But we can go 15, 20 years without having a team down here and still have some great football teams. Shotgun look for Crazier. Lined up tight. He's going to run this one off tackle, across the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Clock will move. We'll see how much of a hurry Mount Pleasant is in here in this situation. Again, it is a 4-score game. I don't think Mount Pleasant has the ability, the time to come back in. Well, they have the ability. I don't think they have the time to come back in this one. But they've done a much better job against Traverse Moore in the second half. Bottled them up a bit. Just haven't been able to make everything happen, one series after another, one drive after another. They've had the momentum for short bursts, but then DeWitt is able to make a big play as they do right here. Krazier has to throw that away in the backfield, just barely gets out of the pocket as he's able to throw that one away. And now, have you ever tried running next to Krazier? You're a soccer player. I know you got some speed, but when it comes to like Krazier, Zay Rodriguez, where's Brenton Scobie at in like the 100 against these guys?
I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near those guys, but again, I've been teammates with those guys in basketball practice, so we're running sprints up and down together. Those are great athletes, and you'll see them on the basketball court here in a few weeks once they get their legs back under them and into practice.
Yeah. How many guys do you got practicing this last week for basketball, Coach Shell?
Last 2 weeks after tryouts, I think it's 2 weeks. We've been in there for 2 weeks now. We've had 6 guys for varsity basketball. So we've been playing with the JV guys, bringing in some of the freshmen. So we've been able to get some work in. Not typical because again we don't have teams come down here all that often. So kind of a rare scenario, but we've gotten some good work in.
Yep. And I know if you talk with Coach Dan Shell and same with Cam Gatrell in Beale City last year, the experience that the football team brings after a run like this is so important for leadership. Here comes the third down play from Krazier. He's rolling out to his left. Now stops, looks to set his feet. He's got to try and find some space. He's just going to have to throw this one downfield. It's going to be incomplete. We'll see the Oilers go for it here on a fourth down, but DeWitt's dialed up some pressure. That's maybe the timeout that you saw from Coach Zimmerman of, hey, don't got to worry about them running it anymore. If they do, we'll give them the 5-6 yards of play at this point. Let's make them try and force tough throws for Krazier, and that was one right there. He rolled out, bought all the time that he could, and it does look like the Oilers are going to bring out the punting unit here in this situation. That's one of those that I'm kind of like, wait, what? But Coach Mack is much smarter than I am, and I think in this situation, you need a muff punt or something like that's going to be the best thing. And as I say that, Jaden Bender kind of noses up towards the line of scrimmage. DeWitt's not going to even have anybody back to return this punt, which I do think is a good decision because catching those punts, it's a lot easier said than done. So it's going to take a bounce, roll down to the 25-yard line. Maybe that is where DeWitt will take over with the next possession. 5:22 left to go in our fourth quarter. And those seniors out there, what would you want to say to them? They've taken you on this ride, per se. If one of them go back and listen to this part, the kind of the broadcasters thank you from you.
I just think it's just been awesome to see how, again, I didn't see it coming. I don't think a lot of people saw the season coming.
I didn't see it coming.
And I think they've kind of been played as the underdog kind of all the way through the playoffs. East Grand Rapids, Lowell, and again today against DeWitt. But they've come out and surprised a lot of people. I just think it's super awesome to see what they've done out there. A lot of guys who hadn't had a whole lot of varsity football experience either coming into this year, coming in and making some big plays this year. And they will lose a lot of seniors. I think the 23 is that the number of seniors they have losing. But they have a lot of pieces coming back next year.
Yeah, and again, it all starts with Krazier coming back. What he has been as a junior quarterback is unbelievable. And Anna Harona is going to be coming back at running back as well. And I believe you're going to be bringing back Zay McGinnis at wide receiver. And I think McGinnis is one of those guys, if he didn't have Rodriguez, Olsen, Jules Wilson in front of him, he probably could have put up some big numbers this year. And so I know he's going to be big time coming back next year. Here comes the first down and 10 play. Traverse Moore is still out there offensively for DeWitt. I wonder if Coach Zimmerman knows he's got the all-time rushing record already. But then again, as we've talked about, he's kind of obliterated that record. If he has another run or two here, who knows what he could end up with. And as I pull it back up, he is 35 yards away from the hollowed 400 mark. Wow. It's just, actually, and you add in his passing yards, he's over 400.
Wow.
And as you're going to have me pull up the other records here for total offensive yards, the all-time record is 513. 72 rushing, 441 passing.
So an interesting thing about that record set by Carson Viss there, that is one of the best high school football games I think I've ever watched in person. That was the 2023 D4 state championship as Moore takes off on another long run. And he lost the football.
He does lose the football. The Oilers will pick it up. They want to say that he's down. The DeWitt players do. I'm waiting to see what the call is here, and I do think they're going to say he was down by contact. McGinnis came up with the football for the Oilers. If they got it, it would be the old Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. You telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, but going back to that record from Carson Viss there for the all-purpose yards, now we're looking at this replay here on the NFHS monitor, and it looks like Moore was down. It's when his back hit the ground that football came loose. But that record from Vis, that game was a very tight back-and-forth football game between the South Christian Sailors from Grand Rapids and the Harper Woods Pioneers. And that game came down to a 4th down inside the 10-yard line. And South Christian just unable to convert there and punch it into the end zone and win the game on the last play. What an awesome football game that was. And again, we got to see that game from the sideline. One of the best games I've ever watched.
That's pretty darn cool. And this is your second year being able to be down here at Ford Field, you say? So last year you weren't able to. Yeah. So that's pretty darn cool, and be able to see a game like that. And that's what's cool about the state championships is you see those type of performance. And again, we're a couple plays away from this being 41-32 or something like that. We almost saw it here. Run up the middle, a lot of space for the ball carrier. He's going to be tackled 2 or 3 yards short of first down yardage. And right now, if you're DeWitt, you're just looking at that clock. You're running as much time as you can off of. You run as much time as you can in between each snap. 3:39 left to go. 2nd down and 2 coming up for DeWitt. Now on the year, Traverse Moore, or the day. It could be a good year for a running back, too. 31 carries for 391 yards. 12 yards per carry. As a team, DeWitt is 55 carries for 534 yards. Woo! Shotgun look here. Traverse Moore is going to get the snap. He fakes the handoff, pours it up the middle. He's got to dance by one guy. He's able to do so to pick up first down yardage, and that clock will continue to churn if you are the DeWitt Panthers.
I think one thing that the Oilers, sorry to cut you off there, but I think one thing that these Oilers can kind of hang their hats on here, they're not going to come away with the result that they were hoping for today, hoisting that state championship trophy, but they were so close so many times. Like we mentioned it, down 20 points in the 4th quarter. They got a few stops and just unfortunately weren't able to move the football in the time they needed to. A couple turnovers and a turnover on downs.
And just 3 out of 5 years I think DeWitt has been here. You take away the first 10 minutes of the game, those jitters from Mount Pleasant, this was a pretty evenly played game. As I say that, Jaden Bender is going to go to the end zone on the end around for the touchdown. And on the board, pardon me, that's actually going to be Vissing going in again. Or let me get the name down here. More worried about the Oiler names. Channing Ridley going in with the touchdown there. With the Ridley, I always keep wanting to call him Calvin Ridley, NFL, but touchdown there now, 53-20. DeWitt with the lead, and you look at the amount of points they've put up all year long. It's just been absolutely unbelievable. And I actually saw Joe message us a little bit ago saying if he could come call for a little bit, and we're not kicking you off, but if he comes in here, we'll let him jump on. Actually, Joe Marciano, big shoes to fill, taking over for Pat Onstad the last couple years. Talk about what that switch has been like. We'll throw Onstad under the bus here a little bit or something like that.
Well, it's been cool. We've gotten to do a lot of different things. Mr. Marciano's come in. He's implemented some new things. We've gotten a couple cool opportunities that we've been able to work on in class. We've done a lot of broadcasts for the school broadcasting program. We've kind of revamped, in a sense, the oil spill and some of the way we've done some of those things. But also we're trying to start up a web radio station, the GI Tech radio station. So that should hopefully be starting up here before too long, playing some music and having some talk shows for you to listen to.
What'll be really cool about that is mom, dad at work, hey, my kid's programming this hour of music. Hey, my kid's going to be doing some talk stuff this hour. I think that's going to be a really cool opportunity, not just for you kids, but the way everything, I'll talk about it's so easily accessible on Facebook and on YouTube. It's just boom, right there on your phone. You guys will be able to do the same type of stuff, and I know Joe's super excited about that. I told him to get a hold of my main man, Sean Powers, former ops manager at 104.3 and Buck 92 with me, because that guy's got a big music library that I know he could share. And that's another thing, too, for people wondering. With the educational purposes, you guys will be able to play pretty much anything you guys want, because the copyright stuff, you'll be good to go, as it's all for educational purposes. 54-20 is the score. There's just 2:36 left to go here in our Division III state championship game. The Mount Pleasant Oilers are going to finish state runners-up 13-1. But what a year, as Brenton Scobie says, I don't think anybody came into this year. You asked me coming into the year who's going to be really good. For me, it was Beale City. They got all these guys coming back from the state championship team, and they were amazing. Again, them very similar to this game, just a couple plays away from beating Harbor Beach and possibly hoisting that D8 state championship for the second year in a row, but just so close. But yeah, beginning of the year, you would have asked me the Oilers, I'd have said you'd be really happy with a district championship, and now you have second ever appearance in the state finals. What a year for the Oilers. Here comes the return man from the far side of the field. It's Helm will bring it out to around the 35-yard line. And we'll see if we see all the starters come back out, Krazier and the crew offensively. Because, again, this is that point where you got those seniors coming in there. You're going to give them an extra carry or two at this point. First down and 10 for the Oilers. Have it at their own 34-yard line. And sitting at 397 yards is Traverse Moore. I don't know if he knows it or not, but if I'm the dad in the stands at this point, I'm saying, Coach, you get him to 4. He'll be the only one ever with 400. That would be pretty darn cool.
And unfortunately for him, I have to imagine if they end up getting the football back, he might be taking a few knees, and it might take some yardage off of that total for him.
Run up the middle for Graham Phillips. Again, he just continues to run so hard out there. And when I talked with Mazurkiewicz, Zay Rodriguez, Coach McIntyre, when the heart, the soul of this team, Graham Phillips is the guy that gets brought up time after time after time. And he's another guy, when I stand next to him, I always think of, man, why didn't I play football? Kind of like I stand next to him, and he's not this big, intimidating presence, but it's the heart, it's the soul, It's the mindset, it's the knowledge that he brings to the game. He's coming out getting a big hug from Coach McIntyre right now, and what a career that he has had. And he's somebody that I hope there's an Alma College in Northwood or somebody watching, because, man, he could be a big-time contributor to somebody at the next level. Short run here to the near side will move the chains for the Oilers. 1:42 left to go on our ball game. Chris Spockman and Brenton Scobie hanging out 7 floors above Ford Field as this state championship game winds down. Not the way we wanted it to wind down, but as he said a couple times, I'll say again, the fact that they're here is pretty darn awesome. And Xavier Krazier, another one of those guys, imagine how many schools got to be looking at him after the performance he had against Lowell last week. Handoff up the middle. Some room for the ball carrier. Finds some room on the far side of the field is Mr. Brady Johnson. Big time carry there as he takes it into DeWitt territory to the 35-yard line. It still looks like some starters out there for DeWitt, but now some guys shuffling in, shuffling on. This is a tough situation. You got some of those freshmen and sophomores up, but DeWitt's got so many seniors as well. I think they had 27 or 28. Wow. And so I don't think any of the freshmen are getting in this one. It's all the seniors that are going to be going out there right now getting the love. Johnson remains the deep back of the I formation. Maybe a short run here, maybe no gain on the play as we're under a minute remaining in our state championship game. We got our Bird All-American Girl post-game show coming up after this one. You guys, Student Brocky, you guys are hanging out for the next game as well, too. I'll see if my main man Adam Gursky, if we're getting some grub here at Ford Field, if we are headed out. And I'm sure our ride home is going to be a lot better than that ride down because, oh, boy, it was iffy. Did you guys take 27 or did you guys go over to 20?
Yeah, we came down 127, and once we got past Lansing, the roads were pretty clear. But for a while, it was kind of dicey out there. The snow was pretty deep. We were not going full highway speed on our way down here.
Short run, and that probably will be the final play right there as the clock goes under 10 seconds remaining. The Oilers, nope, they are not going to run another play. That will do it. Traverse Moore will finish with only 461 total yards, but what a performance from the senior for DeWitt. The Panthers are state champions, winning at 54-20. What a performance from the Oilers this season, though. They'll finish 13-1 and runner-ups in the state. They're going to get a trophy after this one as well. Going to take a break. Coming back with you for the Bird All-American Girl postgame show. Nope, Scobie's going to head down on the field, and he's got some hugs to hand out. He's got some congrats to hand out to his teammates, but we're going to come back with our Bird All-American Girl postgame show right after this to put a bow on our high school football season on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Mike Stanton, and I'm honored to represent the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, created to honor Maryland's legacy of generosity, compassion, and commitment to our community. At its core, our mission is simple: to support our youth, remove barriers, and create opportunities for kids to grow, compete, and succeed, both in their community and in the game of life. We are incredibly excited to support the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. They do an outstanding job highlighting student athletes, local schools, and the power of teamwork, shining a light on the hard work and dedication that is often overlooked. This partnership allows us to celebrate not just wins on the field, but character and leadership along the way. At the end of the day, it's about investing in our youth, strengthening our communities, and carrying forward Maryland's spirit of giving. To learn more about the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund and the events we support, find us on Facebook by searching Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund. Go Blue Jays.
Value is not just a price. When you buy something for your home, it's an investment. Knowing that you're getting a great deal and service after the sale is priceless. At Woods Household, we only carry quality products for your home at competitive prices. Furniture that is attractive and durable. Comfortable mattresses that last for years. Flooring that stands up to wear and tear. These are all products that last by trusted name brands like FlexSteel, Serta, Whirlpool, and many more. So shop the Woods way.
Mumford Oil and Gas Supply is your one-stop shop for top quality products and procurement in the Michigan oil and gas industry. With over 45 years of experience and a strong commitment to customer satisfaction, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply delivers the best solutions for your oil and gas production, drilling, and service needs. If you need it, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply can get it. Visit them on Fancher today or give them a call at 989-317-8582. Malley Construction in Mount Pleasant are experts in residential and commercial construction. From poured walls, flat work, pipe work, and road work, Malley Construction does it all. And they are Michigan Department of Transportation pre-qualified. Malley Construction is family-owned and a proud supporter of local high school sports. Bryce Updegraft with Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates thanks the coaches and officials who put in the time to help student athletes achieve their dreams and goals. For all of your real estate needs, the Bryce is right with Bryce Updegraft. With Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, 989-620-6595. The Diner, where homemade favorites come to life every day for breakfast and lunch. From fluffy pancakes to savory sandwiches, the Diner has your cravings covered. Discover the perfect blend of comfort food and camaraderie at the Diner. Join them every Friday night till 7 for their famous fish fry. The Diner on North Mission, Mount Pleasant. Hiring a cleaning service doesn't mean you're lazy. Martinez Cleaning knows it means you value your time and want to come home and relax and not worry about the mess. Martinez Cleaning allows you to do just that. Come home and relax to a nice clean home. Schedule your appointment and learn more by visiting Martinez Cleaning on Facebook or call today at 989-289-8615.
Let's head back to the action on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back to the football action one more time here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. Our final, DeWitt 54, Mount Pleasant 20, but oh boy, did the Oilers battle back. They had the football down 40-20 going in. A big-time interception from Jaden Bender kind of took the wind out of the sails there, but the Oilers a little bit closer than that score indicates, but a big, big congratulations. Traverse Moore from DeWitt, the all-time state record for rushing yards in the state championship. Whew, that's pretty darn awesome. But the awesome thing about the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, our sports coverage just continues and continues and continues. Next Friday, high school basketball will be underway on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network as the Shepherd Blue Jays take on the Clare Pioneers in Clare. I'll be there for the call. There's also some games coming up on Tuesday as well, but your boy's going to kick back and relax for a couple days. Let the voice rest for a minute, and then we will be bringing you some football or some basketball this Friday. But what a year of high school football we had here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. We were really, really close to getting all 6 of our ultra-local schools into the playoffs. An injury to Mason Eisenberger kind of ended some of those thoughts from Shepherd as they finished the season 5-4. But then everybody else got in. Clare, Beal City, Ithaca, Sacred Heart Academy, and Mount Pleasant. Clare and Sacred Heart losing their first playoff games. Sacred Heart losing to Beal City. But Beal City, Ithaca, and Mount Pleasant all win district champions. Beal City, Mount Pleasant, both play for regional championships. Beal City falling to Harbor Beach on the road, and Mount Pleasant making it to the state finals before falling to DeWitt 54-20. Whew, what a performance from Traverse Moore from DeWitt High School. Our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game, our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game, is going to my main man, Xavier Krazier, who finished with a pretty darn good day as well. 12 carries for 162 yards on the ground, also threw for 66 yards and a touchdown as well. He also caught a pass for 31 yards too. But man, the tip of the cap to Traverse Moore. He is now the all-time record holder for rushing yards in the state finals, a record that was absolutely obliterated. It was 314 coming into today. Traverse Moore ends this game with 397 yards. But what a year of football it was. I'll run through those records again. Shepherd 5-4, Clare 6-4, Beal 11-1, Ithaca 8-4, Sacred Heart Academy 5-5 in their first year back in 11-man action, and the Mount Pleasant Oilers, state finalists, state runner-up, 13-1 on the year, only their second ever trip to the state championship game. Big congratulations to Coach McIntyre, Van Orman, McLean, and the crew. And what a crowd it was here today as well for these Oilers. Just couldn't quite make it happen. Give a lot of credit to that DeWitt team, and in particular, Mr. Traverse Moore, the all-time record holder for rushing yards in a state championship game, just 3 shy of 400 yards. Chris Bachman signing off for our football coverage here on the Mid-Michigan Sports Network. But basketball is right around the bend. Make sure you join me this coming Friday. Our Barberry Law Studios will be live in Clare as the Blue Jays visit the Pioneers for high school basketball action. And I'm going to run through that laundry list of sponsors here because I got to thank everybody again for making it possible for me to bring you the action. The logos you see up on the screen are big sponsors. Barberry Law, Gates Drilling and Service, Bill's Custom Fab, the Bird All-American Grill, Clark Modular Homes, Weefrich Financial, Woods House Appliance, Brad Malley Well Drilling, and Malley Construction. And again, the Bird All-American Grill post-game show here. Our Bill's Custom Fab fabrication of the game, that long run from Krazier. Krazier is also our Zaid Batchelder baller of the game as well as DeWitt. A little too far from the listening area, I'll make the joke, for me to give them the tip of the cap. But what a game from Traverse Moore. Excited he's going to be at CMU next year. Also much love to J&J Auto, Blockco Pools and Spas, Konwinski Construction, Weber Brothers Sawmill, Mumford Oil and Gas Supply, ENS Graphics, Mount Pleasant Automotive, Bryce Updegraff and Joe Wentworth, Pregame Realty, Robin Stressman and Associates, the Maryland Chapman Memorial Fund, Martinez Lawn Care, Bogwai Banga and Bradley, Powell Frame and Collision, Dick Silva Auto Sales, Brickner and Bunker Insurance Group, Block Electric, The Diner, WW Construction, All Seasons Fireworks, Pure Plumbing, Hanging by a Thread, and GNS Mechanical, along with CNC Enterprises, Dance Again Dress Consignment Shop, Isabella Community Sportsplex, Mount Pleasant Heating and AC, Smith & Sons, the Beale City Village Store, Sydney's Judges Bench, Dog Central, Barry Funeral Home, Boomer's Lawn Care, the Doozy's Ice Cream Place, Almost Up North and Stitches for Britches, Schaefer's Bait and Sporting Goods, Gross Farms, Bragg Gross Electric, the Fisher Companies, along with Kenneth Egger DDS. It is those folks that make it possible for me to be here to bring you those games. So when you think about doing business in the Mid-Michigan area, think about supporting those folks who support the Mid-Michigan Sports Network, and thus these kids out here on the field and on the court playing their hearts out. 54-20 our final. DeWitt a winner over Mount Pleasant in the D3 state title game. Chris Bachman signing off until high school basketball coverage coming up Friday. Shepherd at Clare. It is your home for high school sports in Mid-Michigan, the Mid-Michigan Sports Network.